It's time, my darlings. Welcome back to my channel. This is Dame Refront, and on today's video, we'll be talking about how to glow up before New Year's and Christmas. Okay, that's what we'll be working on today's video. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's video. I'll be posting a series of videos every single day around midnight US time. I'm not sure what time you're in, but I hope you're well. Now, we have a few factors that we're going to point out today, and lucky you guys, I actually found a book that I had written. I've been writing on since I was like 16, and on this book, I actually created a recipe that helped clear my skin, right? And I've been working on this recipe since I was like 16 years old, because that's when I actually got on the internet and started learning about all this stuff, okay? So I'm gonna maybe give you guys a few tips on how to glow up and how to use your products properly. I'm also working on my own skincare line, more like a body scrub, body mask, and body cream, okay? And bar soap, of course, can't go wrong with that. Now, if you're interested in those kind of stuff, I need you to subscribe, like, and I need you to leave a comment down below on what has been troubling you so much that it puts you on a pause, that you cannot even focus on glowing up. I need you to tell me whether that's your skin, the way you dress, the way you talk, your environment. What is the blockage? Okay, let's talk about that down in the comment section. Let's talk about that. Okay, I want to understand you ladies better. I want us to be open, and remember, the only thing that we do not talk about in my comment section is what? Defending men. Okay, good. Now that we have that out of the way, I can now start talking about how you can easily, okay, and it's affordable. Okay, it's affordable. Some of these things you can just do it at home, you can do it in your free time. So you are good. When it comes to me, you are good. I have you guys. Okay, I got you. Now, what we have to understand, ladies, is that what are you trying to glow up? What are you trying to glow? Which aspect or which place are you trying to glow up with? Because you can't just say that I want to glow up, okay? You can't just come here and say that. You need to know which area of your life do you need a glow up, Like, for an example, some people may come here and say that, oh no, I need to glow up my persona. Okay, I understand that, but what about your persona is wrong? Maybe it's the way you cuss. Do you cuss a lot? As a lady, you should know that we do not cuss, okay? We don't cuss at all, at all. We don't say the F word, the N word. No, we do not, even by mistake. It shouldn't even cross your mind. We don't do that. The closest we will go to saying is shit, because yes, the closest we will go to saying is shit, Oh, hell no, that too. Well, I like that. Well, do I like it like that? Yes, I do. Anyways, but then we don't overdo it. We don't overdo the cussing, So if that is a problem with your persona, your language, you have a problem with cussing a lot, then you need a glow up in that focuses on that aspect. So you would need to work on your vocabulary. So you need to glow up with the vocabulary. Let me just have a sip of water because I'm getting thirsty. Right here, it's too hot. Now, you would need a glow up with that aspect. Your vocabulary, you need to start working on that. And in that sense, then I would come here and I would tell you that, okay, firstly, you have to put down all the words that you know that you it's a bad language. you know them, you know it from the front of your head. Because if you keep saying it over and over again, then it's in the front of your head. It's right here. It's right here, okay? And you can't really, of course you can do something about it. That's what we're working on right now. So what I would tell you is for you to, firstly, as hard as it may sound, is to get a dictionary out. I was just speaking to my niece a few hours ago, and I was telling her that she's actually good with her vocabulary is excellent. It's very good, But then she has we were basically trying to pick her career, and she came out here and she was telling me that, hey, I want to become a lawyer. And I was like, very nice. Like, okay, why do you want to become a lawyer? Like, let's discuss this. Like, what interests you in becoming a lawyer? And she's like, well, and I kid you not, this is a true story. I kid you not, she comes up and she's like, if I tell you, you're gonna think that's the dumbest thing that I've ever said in my life. And being the sweet aunt, I'm like, no, I wouldn't think that. Go ahead, child. Tell me your brightest idea. And I kid you not, this girl says, she decides to tell me that she wants to be a lawyer because they wear black and her favorite color is black. I love it. Because what the hell? Like, how do I even respond to that? What advice do I even give her? Like, huh? Like, darling, what do you mean? Can we talk about this even more? Like, okay, your favorite color is black, and that's why you want to be a lawyer? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, girl, do you understand that there's a lot of jobs that require to wear black? Like to have the black attire? And she's like, huh. And I'm like, huh. Yeah. Let's think about that for a second. And long story short, I asked him, like, okay, do you love debating? She's like, no. And I was like, do you love arguing with people? And do you ever win an argument? And she's like, no, I wouldn't debate with anyone because I would just lose my temper and hit someone. I'm like, girl, bye. I'm like, oh God. Kids, oh my God. It was a very beautiful conversation of us trying to understand each other. But what I'm trying to say is that I ended up telling her, I was like, okay, since you have an interest in law, we can work on that, because I understand that you may not know the exact, reason why you want to do law, but at least you found a niche. Rather than not having a niche, at least you found a base of where you want to sit down and study. So let's work on that. You gave me something. I can work with that. I can fix that for you. And I'm like, okay, do you have a dictionary next to you? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, pull up the dictionary and pick any page. Take a random page. She goes on, picks a random page, and she reads me a word. And I'm like, okay, that word, I need you to repeat this word to yourself over and over again and remember the meaning. And when you do that, when you're done remembering the meaning of the word and the way it's spelled, you can work on the spelling later on, but because she's in school, so she would need to know how it's spelled. So I'm like, you need to learn, how to pronounce the word, what the word is, and the definition of the word. And I need you to now use the word with your sisters, okay? When it doesn't matter if your sisters understand or not. You can always teach them, but then I need you to use the words with them, because what it does, it makes it a safe environment now for all of you guys, not just you, but in her too. Your sisters too. They also start to familiarize with this one word. And as you keep doing it every single day, another day, tomorrow, I told her, it's like, hey, tomorrow you open the same dictionary, random page, find a word, and let's do it again. Keep doing it every single day. Learn a new word and use that new word. So the tricky part, or the part that I want you to actually be really good at, is that you learn the word today. Tomorrow you're going to use this word and the new word. And the following day you're going to learn the day before yesterday and yesterday's word and today's words. And you're going to just keep using it like that. It's going to build your vocabulary. And it's the best thing that I personally did for myself growing up. And I want you to have it too. And for those of you that are listening right now and you have children, younger children, especially those that are 17 and downwards, you should actually, this is a very good skill, that I personally taught myself how to do this, and I would recommend that you all do that for your children. Now, that's the story of my niece trying to, I don't know what she was trying to do when she told me that she loved black. I had no idea. Like, okay, like I don't really know how to answer that question, but I had to think fast, because I don't want her to think that, I don't have an answer. Of course, sometimes I don't have an answer, but when it comes to serious stuff like that, you just have to be careful when you're dealing with a child. You have to actually think about, what you're gonna say to her, how, what type of a child is she? Is she reactive? Is she sensitive? Yesterday we were talking about sensitive people. Is she sensitive? If I say something that was incorrect right now, would she take it directly, or would she actually take it in the sense that benefits her? So she takes what benefits her and leaves the rest. If she's not that type of a child, then I have to be, I have to know what to say and how to say it, and that's what I'm trying to focus on, ladies, that if you cuss a lot, okay, you have to know what specific words you use, and you also have to understand what triggers those words. You can't just cuss. It's not normal to just sit down and cuss. It's not appropriate. It's not normal. You are a lady. You can't just come out here and just cuss. No, ladies, we don't do that. Okay, so there should be something that's triggering it, and you have to understand that. You have to sit down and understand what is triggering me so much that I have to cuss. And again, it's all patterns. There's nothing new under the sun. There is literally nothing new, not in your life, and not in your neighbor's life, and not in my life. There's been people that have lived my life, lived your life, same situations. They've been people that were in the same position. So this is just to tell you, is what I'm trying to say is that there is a pattern of those triggers. Okay, you will come to find out that what has been triggering you is something that's consistent. Maybe it's your brother who's always triggering you. Maybe they're always calling you and doing something that's always going to piss you off, and that gets you to cuss. Then you're triggered. Then it's a pattern from that place. It's a pattern from that aspect. And then you have to think about, okay, we got one thing down, and now look at everything else. Is there any other place that triggers you? Okay, you found all of them? Good. Okay, now you're gonna put a boundary. That's what you have to do it. The world works with boundaries, okay? You have to know how to set a boundary and say, hey, look, I don't like this. I don't like the way you just do that. You come to my place and you just play around with my stuff. If your situation better than me. I'm just making an example that you can just come here and say, hey, you just come to my house, you just don't knock, come in, I could be doing something, and then you just don't do that, and it gets to my nerve. And I don't like it, and it gets me to be a person that I'm not trying to stay or not trying to become. So I would really appreciate it if you just respected my space as much as I respected yours. And I don't want to repeat myself again. So it's either you're going to listen to what I'm trying to say and respect me and give me that respect that I'm giving you as a human being, or don't come at all. If you start putting people in those positions of you do it or you don't do it, or you respect me or you don't, but just know that there's consequences, then that person, in their head, you're actually tapping into their head, right? Because now they're gonna be like, oh, she's actually serious. Oh, by the way, before I forget, this only works, ladies. I'm repeating myself. This only works is if you keep your word. Because the moment that you say something like that and they come in and do the exact thing and you let it slide, that one time that they do it again and you let it slide, it's done. It's done. You're weak. That's how you, I'm not saying you're weak, but that's how you're going to be perceived. You're weak. You don't keep your word. You're not as a lady. You're not, who you think you are. Because you let things slide, you let people climb over you. You may feel powerful for a second, but after that, you lose. You don't lose control, but you lose. That's what you do. Okay, that's exactly what happens. So this is why I'm saying be careful, because the moment that you say something like that, the moment that you go ahead, open your mouth, and say something as serious as that, you do not let that same person, anyone else, do it again. Because the moment that they do it again, then you show them the consequences. Then you actually come out here and you change the locks. The moment that they want to come in and you're like, no, go home. Go home, Jake. Go home, okay? I'm only saying Jake because I recently watched Scandal with Olivia Pope. But yes. You tell them, okay, go home, Jake. I'm not letting you in. We're not here. This is not me. This is the I don't know, the security camera. I'm not there. Okay? Go home. Since you don't want to respect my home, you don't want to respect my children, go home. And when you know how to respect them, when you know how to respect me, then you come back. That's how you deal with this kind of stuff, right? And that's point number 1, by the way, that you need to find what's the problem. And this whole, what I've been trying to tell you, it fell into my little niece's situation of vocabulary of trying to find what you want, And moving on to the second aspect, I think I'm going to jump into a few today. Moving on to the second aspect is, if you say that, you want to glow up, let's say with your skin, you have to find out which part of your body it is. Like everything, ladies, you can't just say that I want to glow up with my skin. Okay, your skin, okay, which part of your body? Because you have skin everywhere. So which part of your body do you need help with? Is it your face, your back, your feet, your legs? Which part? Find that part. And don't get me wrong, okay? I'm a girl's girl, okay? I'm a girl's girl, so I'm definitely going to transfer you to the source. I'm going to transfer you to the room that has all information that you are looking for. Because if I don't have it, why am I gonna have you here listening? As much as I want the content, views, and watch time, as much as I want that, I'm not just gonna have you here and let you suffer in basically me giving you logic, and wisdom, because that's what I'm giving you. I'm giving you wisdom, and I'm not just gonna pour that into you and not refer you. I have to refer you. That's the right thing to do. When you find the problem that, okay, I have body acne, but I have back acne, then I have to refer you to either, a dermatologist, or I have to refer you to a person that I may know, or a product that I may know helps with this situation. If I don't do that, then I'm not for you. Then I'm not working for you. Then I'm working for the content. I'm working for the views. I'm working for the money. That's what I would basically be working for, which I'm not doing. I always tell people I work for myself. Okay? I work for myself. I don't work for people. I work for my own time. I work by my own time. I work for myself. And I'm a fixer. That's what I do. I fix. So, as much as you may come here with your problems, if I see that your problem doesn't make sense, or I don't feel like you're giving me too much information, or you're not giving me any information or anything to work with, I'm not gonna be able to help you. Because how does that help me and you? Because if you're not giving me the full backstory, I'm not understanding what's really going on, then what am I gonna do? Because you can come here and say that, no, I have a problem with my skin. Okay, fine. We all have problems with our skin, can you give me more? If you're unable to give me that, then what am I really doing? I'm not doing anything. That's why I'm saying that I can only work with what you give me, ladies. And in this situation, if you have a problem with your back acne, then this is in the books. Okay, this is in the books that glycolic acid works. Okay, you have to now do your research. Again, I've spoken about this in my previous channel. Glycolic acid works. We all know that. But then, just because it works for me doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. Not because the product is wrong, but because we all have different body and skin types. I may have sensitive skin. You may have eczema. You may have dry skin. You may have oily skin. You have to find out what is it that you have. When you find the base of your skin, then you can know how to work with that. And the products that I'm working on, the skincare products that I've been working on it, and the body care, it actually I've used it on myself, because I don't want to sell something to you guys or give out some things to you guys, because I'm gonna be giving it out to some people for free, right? But I'm not just gonna be giving out something that I haven't tried on myself. So if I'm gonna be doing this, then it better work on me. And I know it worked on me because my skin has healed. I love my skin. My skin has healed so much. And I don't want to gatekeep this. No, I'm not going to gatekeep it. No, you guys are my girls. I'm definitely going to be helping you guys with all this, But then once you find out what type of skin you are, then you can go on the internet. The internet basically is a free tool these days. Just log into Wi-Fi, create your own account on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram. Go up there and search up oily skin type, and then all that is gonna come up. And lucky you've been fortunate enough to have dermatologists that are already on the internet, and those dermatologists, they give you advice on what to do, how to handle some stuff. It's a very beautiful thing. You have all these resources that people can just help you out and say, hey, this is how you handle it, this is what you do for your skin type, this is the kind of products that you should do. And sometimes these dermatologists, they kind of exaggerate stuff, and they give you like a La Roche-Posay, they give you like expensive stuff, like La Roche. Some products, they're good, right? But they're not in your right budget. And I feel like these dermatologists, they should be realistic. They should stop. Just because they're a dermatologist doesn't mean that everything that they say or everything that they do have to be targeted to the wealthy. No, they also actually people that actually need those type of. For the record, if dermatologists, they should be helping the middle class and the lower class. That's who the dermatologist should be helping. Because if you're wealthy, you should be going to drink water, you should be going to work out, you have the luxury to fix everything in your system. So leave, of course, handle the dermatologist as you want. It's your life, your money. But at the same time, the dermatologist shouldn't be putting all their focus and time on the wealthy, because they're actually people that need those type of resources, those type of knowledge that they have. And they just come out here and they give the most expensive thing, and now it leaves people, like a lot of ladies, stranded, where they're like, okay, now I have to do something bad, just for me to get this expensive product so I can fix my skin and I can feel better about myself. Sometimes I don't even blame the ladies. I just sit down and I understand circumstances. It's like a while back, I was sitting down, and there was this. I was speaking to a gentleman, and he was telling me, he was like, hey, he's so happy that I never got to be involved in the 304s or the lifestyle of like the adult content that he was like, oh, I'm so glad, because a lot of ladies, they fall into those categories and it's a shame. That's what he was telling me. And I sat down and I thought about it, and I answered. I was like, hey, I don't think it's the right thing for you to say. As much as what they have done may look bad, it may feel bad, but me and you and everyone else don't know what's happening behind the scene. You don't know what got them to even do that. As much as we've all done crazy stuff, but sometimes we don't know how at the end they are, because if that was her last option, if she felt like that was her only option, in fact, I clap hands for her. She's stronger than me. She's stronger than you. You sit here and you talk about her. You put her down, but you don't know what's happening. What if she has like 3 kids? What if she has a baby? And what if her boyfriend or her husband died, and she has no one to help her, no family member? What happens in that situation? Would you prefer that she goes homeless with the kids? Would that satisfy anyone, that she goes homeless? And what happens then? Then you're gonna just walk up you the same person are gonna walk down the street, and you're gonna look and point hands and be like, oh, the mother didn't go to school. You're gonna just turn the story, because if she did not do adult content and she maybe ended up being homeless, you would point there and be like, don't give them money, they're gonna go smoke, they're gonna go do. You just don't know the circumstance. We should stop judging other ladies. As much as people may look happy, as much as people may, just mind your business. Okay, that's what we should be doing, minding our own business. Especially men, mind your business. Don't get involved in any lady thing, because it's so wrong. I don't understand why I don't understand how he could have just said something like that. And me being me, I understand that maybe he could have meant it in a nice way, but then I couldn't let that lady, no matter who she was, I did not know her name, I did not know how she looked like, but when I was speaking for all the ladies that are on that content, and they had no other choice. They may have not had a child, but then what if they were in the middle of getting deported and they had no other way of paying school fees? They had no other way of paying their rent. We just judge people, but we forget that we too were in the same spot. That we too, a lot of us, were in the same spot, but different situations. Maybe my position did not get me so close to going into adult content, but it may have gotten me so close to maybe, ladies, okay, we're having a conversation. Maybe it have brought me so close to maybe committing suicide. What happens then? Because all these things, it should show you, and all this, and should show everyone, that just mind your business. That you don't know what's happening behind the scene. You don't know how the person, what if the person is crying every night? What if they hate themselves, but their child is happy? What happens in that situation? Humanity, we should bring humanity back. We should be humans again. It's the most precious thing you can give to another human is kindness. If it doesn't matter if you know them, if you don't know them, if you are able to be kind to that human, it's the best thing. You can make their day just by being human, just by sitting down with them and just being there. And I started this new habit of just going down, like I kind of live in a very nice neighborhood, okay? I've been blessed to live here, but then I noticed that this affluent neighborhood has a lot, not a lot, but it has somewhat, homeless people, and a lot of them would just sit by the highway, and there would be all this type of fancy cars that would pass and all that, and they don't mind anyone. And I found that, waste the humanity, because these same people that are passing are the people that could literally better this. One of these people passing in a car could better this lady's life. It could better this gentleman's life, this child's life. There's a 3-year-old walking on the street. What happens then? Waste the humanity. It's 3-year-old. What does that 3-year-old know? You're gonna say that if you gave that 3-year-old maybe $50, $100, they're gonna go out and spend, buy cigarette? Is that what you're trying to tell me? That if you gave that 3-year-old $50, that they're gonna go give it to their mother, and their mother's gonna go and spend? Why are we putting negativity? Why does everything have to be negative? Why can't we just sit down and be like, no, I'm gonna give this child a $50 bill? You can even pray about it. I'm gonna give this child a $50 bill, and Lord, I pray that this child, whatever they do with this money, I pray that it's guided by you. I pray that it opens knowledge for this child. It opens doors and opportunities. I may not have too much, but the little that I have, I'm giving it. It's the least you can do. Not everything has to be just terrible. Not everything has to be worse and no, guys, can we not do that? Can we just be human for a quick second with each other and stop guessing each other? Like I literally would just walk down to the bus station, and I would just sit down, and there would be a lady right there, and I would just sit down with her, and I'd be like, hey, and her name was Pearl. Beautiful name. Her name was Pearl, and we'll sit down, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? How was your day? And I would sit down and be like, hey, do you need any blanket? Do you need any pillows? What do you need? Okay? And she would tell me, sometimes she would refuse and be like, hey, no, I don't need anything, I just want to, sit down here and just talk. And I'm like, fine, like, talk to me. I'm here. I'm listening. And she would tell me, all these fun facts and stories. As much as, those things may not affect me, but then if it makes her happy, then I'm okay. That's how I feel, and that's how I feel like every one of you ladies should be. You should have that motherly heart. You should strive to have a motherly heart with everyone, not just your children. Even if you're a mother right now, you should have a motherly heart, not just with your child, but with every child that you see on the road. They could have been your child. Because if you couldn't, God forbid, if you couldn't have a child, that child on the road could have been yours. What would have happened then? Would you have let that child go away? Walk away? No, you would have been crying right now. You would have boiled your eyes out because you seen your child going away. Why don't you now put that same situation and be like, no, this is the child that I want to adopt, and I'm gonna take care of this child. I'm gonna buy this child something. Not everything has to be so negative, ladies. Okay, not everything. I'm just saying. Now let's move back to what I was saying before all this, because I just wanted to tap into this so that we all understand, that just don't judge anyone, okay? Just, especially if you're a man, don't judge anyone. You don't know any of these ladies. You may watch the content, make you feel good, then what? You go on with your day. You just paid her, But then when it comes to the dermatologist, I feel like, they should actually be reasonable when it comes to their product. And, for those of you that have seen products that work for you, you could always help another lady. You go into those dermatologist page in the comment section, and you can just type and be like, ladies, this is what worked for me. You don't have to be negative. You don't have to say anything wrong. You can just be like, hey, this is what worked for me, and try this and that. It's girls supporting girls, okay? There's nothing wrong with that, and if you're on my comment section right now, then you can surely go ahead and type what worked for you, whether it's acne, whether it's mental health, whether it's your persona, your language. Give each other tips down in the comment section. That's women empowerment. That's very good. Okay? Now, another thing is that you have to besides all this, you have to actually start taking care of your body, and you have to start taking care of your face. That's if you have a problem with acne and hyperpigmentation on your face. You have to use the right bar soaps. You can't just use the bar soaps that you wash for your body on your face. Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. Don't do it, okay? For my ladies that are darker skinned, Faded is a good one. I feel I've not really seen a lighter skin use Faded, but for my darker tone, Faded is a good one, okay? That's because I've used it and it's very good. I still continue to use it because it's very good. It's that good, and it's very affordable. And the creams are also good. You will never go wrong with The Ordinary or Good Molecule. Good products. I've used it. Curology. I've sang Curology long since because I used Curology like a long time ago and it worked, And when it comes to your health, I would say, just drink a lot of water. Are you drinking enough water of the day? I used to not drink water. I used to drink apple juice. Orange juice, my bad. A lot of orange juice. And it got to a point where I just would feel dizzy. Half of the day I feel dizzy, which is very wrong because how am I drinking so much orange juice? But anyways, and my skin was not even clearing up because I was not drinking water. You need your H2O. And what I started doing is I literally cut down all my drinks. I cut down all the wine. I cut down the orange juice, the apple juice, and yes, I don't drink soda, but I cut down all those things. And I started drinking water, a lot of water. And it kind of helped me to get back on track. I feel, much more active now. I'm more alive. It's very good. And so drink your water. You can never go wrong with water. Drink water. And also take your I forgot what is this thing called. It's this seeds. I'm not sure if it's the chai seeds. You kind of put it in water and you let it dilute or soak it in water. Those, especially if you have it with oatmeal, it's very good, very delicious. I recently started doing that, and I did not know that it was I think it's with fiber, and it's the best thing. It's literally the best thing that I've gotten so much energy. I'm much more active, especially with drinking water. My digestion system is very good, okay? My skin is glowing. Like, how are you guys gatekeeping all this? Or was I just not paying attention? Anyways, okay? have your fruits, grapes, have your grapes, have your bananas, okay? For those of you that take supplements, be careful with with other supplements. I've heard that, you know, some of them are not very good and they're starting to get tampered with. So be careful with those. Now, when it comes to having your skin mask and all that, what I was trying to tell you guys earlier is a few of my products that I managed to use, you know, or mix, you know, I would say is, I don't know if it's really for me to say. I don't know if it's a good idea for me to say this. I'm not sure if this is a good idea for me to say this, but what I can, but I'm not sure it's a good idea for me to say this, just because of, just like my niece, I don't know how you guys would take it. Would you guys actually go literal with it? You know, I understand that, you know, I can't control how you guys take some of the stuff that I say, but then if there's a child right now and their skin is very young, then if they went ahead and they did this, it was, you know, and their skin ended up getting damaged, that's not good. That's not good at all, you know. So unfortunately, ladies, as much as I would love to give you guys the recipe and all that, you would have to send me an email or leave a comment down below, okay? Leave a comment down below and I'll send you the recipe for the face mask. You know, that way it's controlled, you know, rather than giving it away and it ends up going to a 12-year-old's hand. No. So leave a comment down below on the recipe for the face mask that helped cleared my face, the soap that I made, all those things. I'll give you guys recipes on how to make that. It's really simple. It's very affordable too, okay? It's very affordable, that's for sure. And it cleared my skin in like a week, okay? I don't have any bumps, I don't have any acne, no hyperpigmentation. My skin is the smoothest right now. I am proud of myself. Now, when it comes to your active life, I would always recommend, ladies, that you start wearing waist trainers. You can never go wrong with waist trainers, okay? Wear your waist trainers. Even if you're sitting at home, wear a waist trainer. Buy a waist trainer. Sit with it. Eat with it, okay? Do everything with your waist trainer except sleep with it, you know, because you need to breathe. You need to breathe properly. And do everything with a waist trainer. For those of you that, especially for those of you that are not active, you work in the office, waist trainers, you sit with it. You at the office, okay, you're wearing a waist trainer, you have it all set, okay? Now, when it comes to those of you that are active, then you ladies, okay, if you have a room, then you have everything that you need. You can just play a video on Pilates, on toning your legs or toning your arms, you know, work on all those, your arms, work on your arms, work on your legs, work on your waist, work on your shoulders, and work on your calves. Those parts, all those aspects, work on it. It's what builds, it's what stands out. Your shoulders, your arms, your waist, your legs, and your calves. Work on those things. It will be a game changer for you, you know. And once you start losing all the weight from, you know, downwards, your face will also lose all the fat. So all the fat that you see on your body and you're like, oh, I hate it so much. Okay, lose weight overall. You can't just lose weight on your face, lose weight overall, and you will see the results on your face too. Now, when it comes to, you know, people that have free time, of course, work out. If you have the gym, very good, go work out at the gym. Now, stay away from the machines. As much as I say go work out at the gym, I never say go work out with the machines, okay? Don't do that. Go work on the treadmill, okay? Use the treadmill and walk as much as you want to, but don't use the weightlifting stuff. You're a lady, you cannot have a masculine form or body, no, okay? So stay away from the heavy lifting and all those. I don't even know what they're called because I don't use it. Okay, so stay away from that. If you want to go down there and take a mat and just start doing your Pilates, fine. It's simple. You don't have to pay like $60 or to $100 of a class. No, you can just do that and work on yourself. Private life, beautiful life, simple life. It's a peaceful life. Now, when it comes to dressing, how you dress, you can always rebrand how you dress several times. No one cares. Now, when it comes to dressing, it's also tricky because it just depends on where you're working and what type of a lifestyle you want. Because if you want a soft life, you kind of have to wear your dresses. You can wear your pants now and then, but there's different types of elegant ladies. You have to understand which one you are. Are you one that works in the office? Are you the one that works in, what do you do? Are you elegant mom? Elegant corporate job mom? I don't know. Find what you want, find what you are, and work on that. And you can always get your dresses all sorted out. Ralph Lauren has you for beginners. Ralph Lauren, I saw Pretty Little Things has a new rebrand for those that are in a budget. Pretty Little Things has you set, yes. And for my ladies that can actually afford high-end stuff, Chanel. Okay, now when you go to Chanel, don't just buy anything that you see in Chanel. No, go and find something with Jackie Kennedy style. We love Jackie Kennedy, so find something with Jackie Kennedy style. No logos, no Chanel logos, no logos. Okay, we get the dresses, those look very classic. And if you can go higher, then you can always go to what is this stuff? Laura Piana has the loafers, very comfortable. I love them. Laura Piana has the loafers. It has very cute bags. Cashmere, we have Banana Republic. You never go wrong over there. Okay, and Banana Republic has a lot of blouses too, I believe. When it comes to the jerseys or the cardigans, Massimo Dutti, very good. I had one of their jackets and I had no idea. I didn't really do my research, and I kind of put it in the dryer. Yeah, I had put it in the dryer, and it became a 2-year-old's jacket, and came to find out that it was discontinued. And I was like, no, cannot possibly be true. Well, my jacket was discontinued until maybe Massimo Dutti saw this video and they're like, oh, we have a surprise for you. Yay, I would love that. Bring my jacket back. Thank you so much. God bless. Thank you. Okay, now when it comes to the way you dress, your heels, if you want to start wearing high heels, go for the inches. Okay, don't go for the Mary Jane heels. If you're gonna start wearing heels, it's just go straight ahead to long heels. Okay, because the moment you start with the Mary Jane and you want to move up, it's gonna feel so uncomfortable that you will not feel balanced. You're gonna feel like something is wrong, rather than if you just started right away. It's either you stay in the Mary Jane, we have you there as sister, or we're gonna have you there as madame. Okay, so you decide what you want, but don't say that I'm gonna move from Mary Jane and move up to the stilettos. Now it's gonna be very hard for you, so choose one, go straight ahead with it. And you can always practice when in your free time. When it comes to makeup, no makeup look best. Okay, full glam. If you're very good, if you're a pro, full glam. We don't do any funny colors on your eyes, we don't do any long lashes. No, natural. Everything on your face should look like it's your skin, it's your eyelashes. No baby hair, no any of those baby things that girls are doing now. No, you take a comb, you brush your baby hairs. Okay, you let it blend with your extensions or your real hair. Okay, then we're perfect. For girls that wear wigs, no closure should be showing. It's very good for you to have the half wigs. Most of the girls are having half wigs. I wear half wigs. I love them. It actually gives you this very cute look, this beautiful look, this natural look, and it blends in. People confuse your real hair with that, so it's perfect, and you get to change it every single time, and you actually take care of your hair, so your hair is not actually being tampered with every 2 seconds with heat and all that. So it's very good. When it comes to your lip gloss or lip colors, go to a professional and they should get you something. When it comes to your extensions, okay, your extensions, it cannot be puffy, it cannot be crazy, okay, it cannot also be funny colors. We don't do rainbows, it has to be natural, okay? So brown, black, blonde, stay okay. If you cannot pull a blonde, don't do it. Reddish brown, okay, we can work with that, okay? All these colors, gold, you have to pull this. A gray, if you can pull a gray, you have my applause. If you can pull a gray, I love the ladies that pull a gray. Especially the younger generation, like the ones that are in their 30s, 40s. Wow, y'all do it for me. Y'all literally do it for me. You can pull a blonde, a gray. Oh my god. Maybe one day I would love to pull a gray. Just get my hair dyed gray. Yeah, I am now thinking about it and I'm like, yeah, that would be really, really beautiful. Okay, now ladies, it's again winter, so you have to get your coats right. Okay, start shopping right now. Don't wait for Black Friday. Okay, we've passed that. Don't wait for Black Friday. If you need to, then sure, but if not, get your things sorted out right now. The prices are gonna go up after Black Friday really terribly, so it's best to buy right now before the prices go high, then wait until next, the days coming, and the prices go lower, and then it speeds up and goes very high, and then you're gonna spend so much money just because you want to blend in and buy at the same time as everyone else. No, be smart and buy before. That way you're buying in a normal price range and you get discounts earlier, rather than you going to buy all these things. It's just crazy. Don't do it. Okay, now my ladies, this video is 52 minutes long, and I feel like it's long enough. I really enjoyed having this conversation once more with you guys, and I will see you all ladies tomorrow. Take care. Bye. Elegance isn't about wearing designer labels. It's about the small habits that you practice every single day. It's about your aura. And how do you get your aura? By feeling your most absolute best. My darlings, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, I am Fran's company and I help you become your best self. So if you're interested in this type of videos, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video to someone who you think needs to start the elegance journey. Let's start with your posture. You need to learn how to stand tall. You need to learn how to sit tall. And how do you do that? By every single time you have it in front of your mind that you have to open your chest. When you're walking and you already know that your posture is bad, then in front of your mind you already know that you have to open your chest. You don't even have to worry about what anybody's doing. And trust me, people don't care about what's happening with you. They already have problems of their own. The last thing anyone is doing on this earth is trying to figure out what's happening with you. That must be a total loser. Like, has nothing to do and jobless, hates his life or her life. All they can do is focus on what you're doing. Those. And you shouldn't even be worrying about them. The fact that they even putting all their journalist skills on you, that's a good thing. It should show you that you're actually doing something with your life. Okay? So even if you're at the grocery store and you just remember out of nowhere that you have to open your chest, you do it. Okay, you do it. The next person will also start doing it. Because why? They're like, oh, I didn't know that, that's the free will that we could all access. It is. There's a lot of free wills that people don't know they can access. People don't even know the fact that free will is a thing. Like, majority of the time, a lot of people are so focused on whatever is going on with their lives. They're so focused on the laws and what society says how things should be, that they don't understand they have free will. And an example of free will would be either working a 9-to-5 or starting your own business. Majority of the people do not know that they have free will to start their own business. They are too scared. They choose to rely on the money that another person is choosing to pay them rather than what they choose to pay themselves. Majority of the people don't know that another form of free will is hanging up the call when you're being disrespected. You don't have to be there listening to it. I practice that. The only reason why I practice that is because my father taught me that. And how my father does it is a whole nother thing. My siblings do it all the times. I have 3 brothers, and trust me, the moment that they feel uncomfortable, the moment they feel disrespected, they're hanging up. And I'm the only girl out of 3 boys, and guess what I adapted to? Hanging up. If someone says something to me that I just feel very disrespected and I feel like you won't listen to me when I start explaining, or when I tell you something else that is against what you think, your belief, oh, I'm hanging up. And then we can text whatever, this whole conversation. Let's text it. Because what we're not going to do is have me on the call and you disrespect me and me just sitting there as a full adult and just taking your nonsense as a child. No, I have free will. I'm going to hang up this call. And when you choose to learn to respect other people and to talk properly and to state your fact without coming for the other person, then maybe I will reconsider not hanging up on you. Anyways, free will is a thing, ladies, and I think you should all practice it. I would love for you guys to know that free will is a thing. So if you're at a grocery store and you decide to open your chest, then you should do that because it's benefiting you. It's helping you with your posture, okay? And this is just my 2 cents that I feel you ladies have to understand, that the spine is connected to so much more than just your back. So much more, like not just your spine, everything. Your bones, your jaws, all those things play such a big role. And another cool fact, it protects your spinal cord, which carries little signals between your brain and rest of your body. How amazing is that? That your muscles, your joints, your nerves, and everything around your spine literally all play a big role. So one wrong move with your bad posture, you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna have breathing problems. You're gonna feel very uncomfortable, and you're gonna have back pains. How amazing is that? It's like a dream come true, right? It's because that's what you want to do. You don't want to work on your posture, so this is a gift for you. And another thing, when your spine or the muscles supporting all that is strained, it does not just affect your back pains. No, there's a lot to that. Like you get fatigue out of nowhere. You may be thinking that people are just stressing you, or your kids are just stressing you. No, it's much more. It's actually you. It's you are definitely the problem. You know that thing of people asking, am I the problem? Yes, you definitely kind of are the problem, because you're choosing to abandon your whole spine, right? Because you're so scared of what people think. And also, you may be wearing like a $200 t-shirt, and if your spine is not good, if your posture is not good, you look cheap. You look actually very cheap. So do you want to reconsider maybe fixing the spine? Because as far as I'm concerned, you're losing more trying to feel comfortable in the way you've been training your spine and the way your posture has been looking, rather than if you choose to fix it and you choose to save a lot. It's just my 2 cents, and you think about it. Let's move on to your nails. They always have to be groomed. Now, there's a difference between looking tacky and being groomed. When I say it has to be groomed, I'm not saying you should put emojis on there. I'm not saying you should put a duck or Mickey Mouse on your nails. Like, just draw them. Even in Halloween, please don't. They look very tacky. So just don't do it. I'm very nasty, so you shouldn't do it, because I will come on this platform and I will tell you that looks very tacky, and why do you even have it as an elegant woman? Because of a trend? What trend? Who did the trend? Let's start there, because an elegant woman wouldn't even be doing that. But maybe you saw it from a baddie. Maybe, okay, we can reconsider. Then we can reconsider. Are you a baddie? Were you once a baddie? Then we can work at that. Then we maybe can find a solution for you, but just do not draw on them. Your nails have to stay short. They have to, if you're gonna do the whole acrylic thing, have the almond shape, keep it nice and short. It doesn't have to be like a pointy Cardi B sharp. Like, I love Cardi B, but at the same time, she's a baddie. And if you're trying to get that type of look, if you're trying to be that type of woman, then I'm afraid you're at the wrong platform or the wrong channel, because I do not teach you how to dress like that. I did not teach you how to speak like her. I did not teach you how to do anything like her. She's a beautiful lady. We love her music. I also do not write songs. I also do not talk about music here. So, no. Anyways, it has to be well groomed. It has to stay in a very comfortable color. When I say comfortable, is that you can play around now and then, but it shouldn't be a bright yellow. any rainbow nation like that. No. If we're doing rainbow colors, then it has to stay a very neutral color. Like, how can I say it? Like the navy colors, rather than like a very bright yellow. Keep it like a navy, like a dark red, like a dark purple. Or sometimes you can just keep it French or beige. Just keep it in a very dark color rather than a very bright color. I've seen a lot of Gen Zs playing around with the light blue, very cute, but then I'm just saying, dark is your favorite place to be. If you're trying to stay looking like an elegant woman while still exploring with rainbow nations, then keep it dark. You know, you will never go wrong with dark. It won't be shining in someone's eye, so you'll be fine. And majority of the time, every elegant lady that loves to explore, they are doing dark. So stay with dark. Keep it short. If one nail is out, and you know, especially if you're doing like the rainbow nations and one nail is out, so you basically have 4 purple nails and then there's one that's like just your natural color, then you kind of have to get that done. And you should know that by now, that you just cannot be walking on the road with 4 nails that are purple and one that is not purple. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. So it's either you have 2 options. You remove all of them, so we're all 5 now, and you know, it looks very neat. It does not look tacky. Or you're gonna replace that one, which would be cheaper for you to replace the one than removing the whole thing. Again, whatever fits for you. There shouldn't be any sand or any dirt under your nails, not just because you're trying to look a certain way, but because it's a health risk too. Do we not care about our health? Like, at this point, I don't understand. You cook, you do all these things, you're holding a lot of stuff, and why would you want your nails to be dirty? And coming back to the whole point of holding things a lot, make sure you have hand cream, make sure you have hand sanitizer, make sure you have wipes. Those are the 3 things that involves your hands that you cannot lack in your bag. It's the same way as always carrying an extra pad, like a sanitary pad for, not for you. You may not be experiencing your menstrual cycle, but because of a fellow other girl who you may meet on the road, in the bathroom, at the store, who will need it. It's the same way as having a sanitizer, having wipes, and a hand cream. There's always something that, you know, or somebody that will need it. And if you ever saw someone who needed it, you have to offer it. You don't just see it and be like, oh, I'm too shy, or they should have brought it. No, you have it, so you offer it. That's etiquette. My darlings, I hope that you are enjoying this video. If you have not yet, make sure to subscribe, and let's move on to the next part, which involves speaking calmly. You don't have to be the loudest in the room, and you know, you don't also have to do any crazy thing to be noticed. You have to choose your words very carefully. Speak with kindness and let your confidence, you know, come through your composure. Let it come through your posture. Let it come through the way you're dressed and the way you speak, your aura, the way you smell. All those things will speak for you. You don't have to do anything crazy for you to be noticed in a room, especially when you talk. You don't have to raise your voice. Just because 2 people are out here and one of them is speaking slowly and one of them is shouting loud, it doesn't mean the one who's the loudest has more knowledge or is right. They're just very intimidated. Because if I saw 2 people arguing and one of them is very loud, I would think the one that is very loud is very not, you know, is very intimidated by the one that is not screaming. Because at this point you just want a reaction from the other person. But anyways, that's the scenario that I'm trying to tell you, that you don't have to be the loudest, because the one that is the loudest, again, they're the ones that don't have much knowledge. So try to speak in a normal pace. I have gotten so many people that tell me that I speak like a mouse. Like, I literally just, it feels like a whisper. Like, if you've been around me, you have to come closer to me to even hear what I'm saying, because I don't know how to speak loudly. And even if I did try to speak loudly, I would have to go like 2 volumes up. Like, that's it. I'm not like gonna be screaming at you unless like I'm in danger or anything like that. But, and I've gotten like comments from like people that will be like, the video is very quiet, and I'm like, I've passed my limit of how loud I can keep this video. Like, geez. But again, try to speak in a normal pace and try to use proper vocabulary. Try to not cuss. Before I moved to the US, actually, I did not know, that free will meant you could cuss. Just because you have free will to it also doesn't mean that you should do it. Just because it's the same thing. Just because smoking is legal doesn't mean you should do it, because it can affect you in a bad way compared to someone else. Some people actually get given drugs because they needed to live, like to survive. So, and it would be another consequence for you who doesn't need it to survive, but you're still choosing to do it. So at some point, you are the one that's gonna actually have it more rough than this person. So just because it's right doesn't mean that you should do it. And another person's reality doesn't mean that it's yours, unless that person is living a very positive life that you aspire to have or live, and you look up to that person. Yes, then definitely you can touch into that reality. If it's anything negative, no. This is where I have to explain even deeper, because it brings up the sense of someone who, just lived a basic life, and they're telling you that you can't do anything, like you can't reach your goals because they chose to not touch into theirs. So they give you what the government has fully set. They give you the simple agenda that billions and trillions of people are living in, and they tell you that this is how you can be like us and have your children and all that. That type of person cannot be telling you what to do. They can give you the blueprint, but they can't tell you what to do, because it's your life. We all have 24 hours. Never forget that. They too are living today for the first time. We all have 24 hours. No one has 27 hours. No one has 28 or 30 hours. No, we all have 24 hours. Then the clock restarts for all of us. So they can be giving you what to do. They can suggest things for you, but not what to do. You get to decide that. That's your free will, and you should take your free will every single time. Now, does it mean that you can just do whatever you want? No, that's where knowledge comes into play. But at the same time, your free will is literally your nervous system. Your free will is your will, is you basically. It's you making the decision that this is what's best for me as a whole, not for what's best for anyone here, best for me. And as far as I'm concerned, no one here would literally give up their 24 hours for me. So I'm going to pick my free will, because I know I would give up 24 hours for me. Somebody would come here for 5 hours, which is fine. Another person would come here for 8 hours, which is totally fine. But the person that will be there for you, like long term is always going to be you. So if someone suggests something, you have to think about what do you want. That's how a lot of people just go to school and they fail. Because why? Because they were handed an agenda that said, go to school, even if you fail, just keep on. And then after you've wasted like 6 years of your life going to school, you've graduated and all that, and still no job. Wallace, you could have invested all that time. You already knew that you were not good at school. It's not like it was a secret. Your free will told you that before you started. Your parents were not in the room. When you were in class, when you were with everyone else, you knew you didn't want to be there. That's your free will. That is the best way for me to explain your free will to you. It's for you to understand that when no one was there and you were put in a position with an agenda, with someone handed you this thing, someone actually paid for you to be there. So you feel obligated because of someone else's agenda, because of something that was just brought up. Someone just decided to write it down. And what happened? You didn't want to be there. You knew that you didn't want to be there, but you chose to carry on while knowing exactly that you didn't want to be there, that your free will denied it, and you did not put your all. Because if you had free will, you would go all in. If you chose yourself, if you chose what you wanted to do, you would go all in. But the fact that you didn't tells me that it wasn't your free will playing. And in that scenario, what happens? You end up failing and you have 6 years. Let's say the 7th year, you have no job. The 8th year, no job. Now you have a bachelor's or a master's sitting at, sitting at your shelf, sitting in your house, your room, with no job. You have no job because somebody told you that this is the agenda. Your ancestors have followed it. Your parents have followed it. Your aunts, your cousins. Now it's time for you to follow it. And you knew that you couldn't, but because you loved them so much, you chose to put their free will to speak to you. You chose that over your free will to speak to yourself. And look what it costed you. 7 years of something of your life. You could have built something. You could have done something much more. You could have reached your potential then, but your potential has been delayed 6 years. So now you have to recover it. And how do you recover it? You have nothing saved up. You have nothing. You don't have any savings. You've wasted all your money. The money that you could have invested in putting into something you didn't want to do, you could have invested it into something that you actually wanted to do. You could have invested it in a business. You could have invested it in someone else's business. You could have done so many things. But you lost both your 6 years and the money. Now you have to start from afresh. And the reputation, because now how do you explain to your society that yes, there's just no jobs? So I basically wasted 6 years of doing something that someone else that didn't want me to, someone else wanted me to do. So now I'm here, and the government isn't providing anything. We don't have any jobs open. Now they have to look for a way for you to travel to another country or go to a certain city or all this, or work for your friend or this. Ladies, I hope this is actually clicking for somebody. I hope it actually is. You have to listen to yourself. If a lot of people can give you advice. Take advice, especially from people that have went through certain things that you have. Take it. The reason why advice isn't there is not to tell you what to do. It's just to show you that, hey, there's a stone right there. Okay, you see that road that you're going? There's a stone. It's gonna be on your far right, just 3 o'clock. Okay, make sure that you don't step on that stone. Now, nowhere does it say that advice means turn left? Nowhere does that advice tell you just pick another road. That other road, do you even understand that it's maybe taking you to another town? It's taking you to another city. It's taking you the wrong way. Why are you going there? So remember, advice does not mean change your route. Advice does not mean do anything that you don't want to do. It just means that there's an obstacle right in front of you. It doesn't mean that you're gonna step on it, but it's for you to know that when I went through it, I did see a stone. It may or it may not be there because, again, governments change, systems change. I'm just telling you that there's a stone right in front of you, and when you walk on your right, 3 o'clock, it's going to be there. Maybe, maybe not, but just so you know. And as you're walking, your 2 cents knows that, okay, I was given an agenda, and it clearly said that there's gonna be a stone. Okay, so what do? As I'm walking, I have options now. It's either I'm gonna turn around, not just turn around as in, go back. Turn around as in just diverse the stone, walk across it, or just jump on it, like jump from it, or maybe go the other side and turn around like that. Common sense. Can we all think about common sense? That's an advice. An advice does not mean go back. An advice does not mean do what someone else is doing. So you shouldn't be thinking that someone's life is your life. And again, a lot of us here are out here writing our own lives. So you should write your own life. And if I can write my own life and get what I want, surely you can too. And going back to the whole, learn to speak properly also comes in the manner of etiquette, which I'll make a separate video on this, and it involves saying thank you, please, may you, can I, stuff like that. It does not mean that you have to be apologizing 50 times. One apology is enough. You say sorry, okay, you stand by it. You don't go there the next time you see someone, you're like, sorry again for no. You say sorry, whether they accept it or not, you did apologize. Now you move forward, you're not their slave. So you move forward, you move on with your life. You took accountability, you move on. Okay, and it's the same thing that goes around with you. That if someone says sorry, you don't have to be making them their slave for them to be saying it 50 times that I'm sorry. No, they say sorry, you accept it as a grown adult, and you move on from that. You also don't go around being very nasty to them. You don't act like they owe you something. No. And if they choose to not apologize, there's other ways to go with that. You don't also be acting like, they owe you something, which a lot of people do, but you have to learn to move on. Good things always come to you. Like, you have to be ready and able to just move on with your life. A lot of people have crazy stuff happening to them. You can't be relying on someone else's apology. You don't even know why they got angry. You don't know what got them so pissed that they would react that way. Maybe they regret it too. Some people don't even have the courage to apologize. It doesn't make their mistakes right, but it actually makes their actions human. So don't be putting people's wrong into a stone. Don't do any of that. Move on with your life. You have a billion things to do. Don't you have kids to pick up? Don't you have my videos to watch? Do something. You don't have to be sitting on negative stuff and all that. That's how you get wrinkles, because you're grumpy and closing your face. My granny says that you're closing your face, your eyes are small, and you're you have a very mean looking face. That's how you get all those wrinkles. That's how you age 10 years ahead of your time. Because why? You're just grumpy all the time. No, be happy. Life is for the happy. life, don't you see that everyone that is just smiling, good things happen to those type of people because they are ready to receive it. They are ready to actually receive it. I'll talk deeper into this in another video, but ladies, you have a lot of time to better yourself. You don't just have to become an elegant woman today. It doesn't work like that. It takes years to become an elegant woman, and even those that consider themselves elegant, they're not elegant. They're not yet elegant. That's how I should say it. No one is elegant yet. We are all trying. There's people that are more elegant than others. There's others that are less than others. But it doesn't also mean that you're not. It just means that you have not reached that perfect statue of an elegant woman. And there's nobody on this earth that has. We all have flaws. There's a lot of us that have problems that we are trying to fix. But the fact that you are actually trying to better yourself, that's elegant. Only an elegant woman will choose to see from their mistake and move on from it, and still choose to be graceful. That's the statue of an elegant woman. Still choosing to be grateful even when life has given you so many chances and so many reasons for you to give up, but you still choose to stand put. That's who I respect. I respect that. I mean, I respect everyone, but my respect, the one that I actually take from the heart, and I'm like, this I want a portion of whatever that is. The way they carry themselves, how do they carry themselves? I want to learn from that. That's a statue of an elegant woman. The only reason why you guys look up to me, it's because you guys understand that I may know a lot more, but it doesn't make me perfect. It doesn't. The reason why I'm giving you guys advice on how to diverse a lot of things is I actually went through it. I'm not perfect. I've done my share of mistakes. I've also done my share of play. But at the same time, I choose to be better. And from that, I come here and again, I give you guys advice. I'm like, here, there's a stumbling stone on your right, 3 o'clock. Make sure you jump on it. Make sure you do everything not to step on that. Let's move to the final 2, which is dress properly and don't forget your hair. Ladies, your clothes does not have to be expensive. It does not have to be all that. As long as your clothes is ironed, as long as your clothes does not have any stains, as long as your clothes has all the buttons and doesn't have a bunch of colors on it, like a lot of bleached colors. So if your clothes is a white top, it needs to stay white. If it's a blue pants, it needs to stay fully blue, the blue that it came with, not another shade of blue when you washed it. No, as long as those are good, you are good. Okay. And again, don't repeat clothes like back to back, because at the same time you are human, you sweat, and when you sweat it stays on your clothes. So if you wear it again and you keep adding moisturizer, you keep adding oil and perfume and mixed with the sweat, that's why you would still be clean and still smelling very ugly, because you're mixing a lot of fragrance on your body mixed with the sweat. So don't repeat clothes back to back unless you're like washing it in between, then that's fine. But don't wear it back to back without cleaning it. And some clothes has to go to the dry cleaners. You can't just wash it. Okay, I know my coat, one of my coat, and if a lot of my items, I can just wash it by myself. I know that. So you have to read your tags. You should know that. You have to read your tags. You have to understand which clothes you can and cannot wash, which fabrics you can and cannot wash. You should read that. And also about your hair, wash your hair make sure that it's moisturized. That's how it grows. Wash your hair frequently. I know back home as an African woman, the way I was taught and the way my siblings were taught, and my cousins, and all the ladies, was that you have to try your best to not wash your hair as much, in a whole month. So we would not wash our hair as much, which I'm surprised it did grow. But in theory, and based on research, you actually have to wash it as much for it to grow, which makes a lot of sense that way. But your hair best, try to do that. I'm just saying, wash your hair and keep it clean, keep it moisturized. If you're doing a slick back, have your gel ready. And if your gel has like those, it leaves white, I know some gels leave like a white patchy thing, go over it with a setting spray. Like, try your best to make that very invisible, okay? That'll save you a lot, and it won't come out as you having dandruff or your hair is dirty. You just imagine your hair is not dirty, it's just the glue. How do you start explaining that? Because the moment you start explaining that, you have lost so much aura. So just avoid that. Anyways, my darlings, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it for you all. I will speak to you all, beautiful women, next time, okay? Bye. If you're trying to become the kind of woman who gets compliments everywhere she goes, it's probably not going to be for the reasons that you were thinking. And here are a few habits that make a very lasting impression. My darlings, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, I'm Fran's company, and in my channel I help you become your best self. So if you're interested in this type of videos, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video to someone who you think needs to start their elegance journey. Point number 1 is she has beautiful etiquette. She says her please, she says her thank yous, she waits in line for her turn, she waits even to speak when it's her turn. She doesn't just interrupt people, and she treats people with respect. It doesn't matter if you are a CEO to a waiter or just a homeless person. She treats everyone with respect and fairness. That's very important, especially in this society, that you are able to give back as much good as you are receiving. And there are a few ways to demonstrate this. Just remembering people's name. Now, here's the thing. I know sometimes we forget. I even forget people's name. I'm not going to hold you to it. But I know, like, growing up, my family, or just where I come from, they used endearment terms. Instead of just remembering someone's name, which you should at some degree if you're going to have a long-lasting relationship or friendship or whatever with this person, you should genuinely remember their name. Okay, don't make up another name for them unless you're very that close and they understand you and you understand them, and you guys have this bonding of jokes, then go ahead. But if you are not close to the person, if a person is named John or Sam, keep their name, okay? Call them that. But a hack for you ladies who just want to go broader, you can call them honey. Like, I personally just call everyone darling. Like, genuinely, it doesn't matter if you're a gentleman, it doesn't matter if you're a lady, a child, whoever you are. You may be a granny, I will call you darling, because I feel like it's such a genuine thing. I really feel like you are my darling, and it brings a person to that baby form where they feel cherished and appreciated, and they feel soft. You get to like touch a person's heart, especially when you talk to them in that matter of calling someone darling. Like, yes, darling. I genuinely just say darling to everything. And, even in an argument, I would genuinely just be like, darling, let's stop this. Okay, like, what's going on? Even in a conversation that you feel like it's not going in a very smooth way, you can just say, hey, darling, let's continue this another time. And you will see by the person's expressions that they will feel like you still think of them in the same light as before the argument or the conversation or whatever it is. So darling is a very good endearment term to use. I know the Black community uses this a lot, especially not just the Black community. I know the older generations, like the baby boomers, they love using that. And everyone up there, they call you sweetie, they call you honey, they will call you anything but your name, which is amazing. I love it. I genuinely would love all of you ladies to just pick a term of endearment and use it. And here's one thing that you should remember, that sometimes people, do kind of not take offense to it, but they take it personally. Those are the type of people that are not used to being called with such words or, such endearments. But it just proves that there's no need for them to act like you are confessing your love, And I've gotten like a lot of people that ask me, do I think that they are special because I call them darling? And I'm like, you are as special as everyone else because you have a very unique name. Even if I did not call you darling and I called you by your real name, you would still be special. So it's not something that you should feel like I'm confessing my love and to her felt. No. You are as special as everyone else. You are somebody's baby. You are still somebody's baby, and I'm acknowledging that fact, and I'm bringing you to your baby-like form and calling you darling. So just take it, okay? There's no need to make it awkward for me and you, because why would you even ask me that? But ladies, try to get a word of endearment and call someone that. And now there's another thing that you have to be careful with, because you don't want to sound like you're forcing a word of endearment. Try something that sounds like you, something like you would say. If you know that you have grown up to be a little masculine, which there's nothing wrong with that, we can control our circumstances or how we grew up, but at the same time, if you grew up in that light of masculinity and you just trying to like change it to calling somebody sweetie, it won't really go, it doesn't really match up, and a lot of people will see it as forced. So try to find something that actually goes with you. And for an example, darling, you can have that. You can have doll, you're such a doll, honey. These are a lot of words. Search it up and find the one that actually best suits you. Don't just be saying words of endearment when it doesn't go together with your character or your behavior. Say something that you would say if you chose to, or if you sat in your most feminine form. What would you say? Go with that. And before I jump into the next point, I just want to point out that you shouldn't just also use the words of endearment with people that are above you. Let's say, for an example, your pastor. You can't be going around calling your pastor darling. You cannot be calling your boss darling unless you guys have another type of relationship and you guys are maybe close friends, or yes. But if it's a person that is just above you in that sense, just don't do it. Make sure to keep the relationship. Make sure to call them by Mr. or Mrs. or Madame. Call them by those terms, unless they also told you, no, go ahead, just call me Peter, I'm cool. Then go ahead. But again, keep the respect there, keep the formalities there too. Just because you can use Words of endearment doesn't also mean that you should just use it with your boss, honestly, because it's gonna kind of change your whole relationship from employee to boss. Even if he doesn't think about it that way, or you don't think about it that way, at a certain degree you guys have crossed the line, or you crossed the line where it feels even awkward for him. Another point is she isn't glued to her phone. You know, when she's with someone, she's present. That alone is very rare. Isn't a good sign, especially if it's just your first date or even your second date. If you haven't gotten to know the person in the long run, don't stay glued to your phone. Not just the person that you were dating, but if you're around random people, if you are in a meeting, don't stay glued to your phone. You may be doing some research, but that's not an appropriate place to do it. Excuse yourself. The best thing for you to do if you really have to check your phone is excuse yourself. And if you have to check your phone right there that second, don't let it be for like hours or even 10 to 5 minutes. No, keep it brief, keep it short, and make the other person understand and tell them, I'm sorry, I need a minute, and they will give you your minute and you text or do whatever. That's it. It doesn't make it doesn't mean you should go around scrolling on TikTok or scrolling just trying to do random stuff because you are so bored. If you are so bored, you excuse yourself rather than disrespecting everyone that's sitting on the table like that. You excuse yourself. Make an excuse. Tell them that you have to leave, that you got something urgent that you have to do. Whatever you do, don't get on your phone. Unless you are in danger, which it would actually be even worse for you if you checked your phone while you were currently in danger. Now, I'm not saying don't check your phone. I'm saying excuse yourself. Because if you are in a situation where you are in danger and you're checking your phone, it will alert the other person that's putting you in danger that you're trying to get them in trouble. So you should probably just excuse yourself, make an excuse, leave. That's it, But don't stay glued to your phone. And even if you're going to be playing a video for the other person to see, make sure that the volume is as low as can be, and if they have to hear the thing, just pull it closer to the ears so they can hear it. Now, don't blast music. I would be like having dinner, and they would be like couples that would be like, playing loud music, or even friends playing like loud music on their phone, and they're like laughing, and it's even noisier when they laugh. And sometimes some of us just want to have a peaceful dinner. Some of us don't need all that. We just want to have a peaceful dinner and leave, and it doesn't make us people that aren't happy with our lives. It just makes us people that just want to enjoy a meal. Can I just enjoy a meal? And if you guys do have to listen to loud music, can you excuse yourself and maybe do it outside, or when you guys aren't in public like this? This isn't a park. In a park you can blast music as loud as you want, but we are in a very respectful area. We are all trying to have dinner. Can we just do that in peace? And that goes for you, that you should also respect other people's space. That if someone is dining, you shouldn't just be blasting loud music or doing any of those kind of stuff. It's really not appropriate, And if someone is talking to you while you are dining, you should look them in the eyes. Speaking about looking at people in the eyes, I have like tons of people. I don't know why I always get compliments. Like everywhere that I go, I'm always like getting compliments. Like genuinely, people would just compliment me, and they would be like, I love how you just look at me. You like are staring at me and paying attention. And I'm like, what else am I supposed to do? And they're like, yeah, like normally people look around, like you look at me for 3 seconds and you look around. I'm like, I can't do that, unfortunately. I feel like for me to actually listen to you, I have to look at you. Like, I'm looking at your eyes, and as you're talking to me, I'm listening to you. So go ahead. Instead of me, if I start, just trust me, the moment that I start looking around, whatever you said, I've heard nothing. I heard sounds, but I couldn't make up whatever you were saying because the voice is in my head. Everything around me, my eyes, everything is playing around. I'm like all over the place now. But if I'm looking at you straight in the eyes, I'm more attentive. I'm listening to every single vocabulary that's coming out of your mouth, and they love it. So ladies, take that as a hack. Look at people in the eyes. You can blink. Don't stare at people like for like 2 minutes straight without blinking. That's awkward. That's very weird. Why wouldn't you blink? Like, on a serious note, why don't you want to blink? You should blink. That's creepy. If you can't blink for 2 minutes, I will genuinely get up and leave, because what do you mean you can't blink? So blink. You can blink, do the whole thing, look someone in the eyes, blink, stare at them, smile. Don't just stare at someone with a straight face. No, smile. You are a lady. Have your posture straight. Remember, open your chest. So you sit straight, and you just pull back your chest, and you'll be okay. And smile, and sometimes throw in a laugh. You're like, throw it in. You don't have to do the whole ha ha ha. Like, no, we don't do that. And if you have been watching my videos for a long time, then you also know that when you smile, you don't have to show all your teeth. We don't need to be seeing all that. A good smile would be you smile without your teeth showing. Make sure your eyes. A fake smile will show because of the eyes. You should learn to smile with your eyes too. And when you wake up in the morning, you practice that. Practice a genuine smile, because if you're just giving a polite smile, it shows that it's just polite. But a genuine smile, someone who actually gets away with a lot of stuff, especially if you're trying to get like into the whole seduction game, right? Which we'll get into that in another video. But polite smiles and genuine smiles. A polite smile just has your smile, sometimes your teeth in there, and your eyes will still stay dull, your eyes will still stay in shape. But a genuine smile, it will show, because there will be fine lines at the outer corners of your eyes. That's how you know. Okay? And your cheeks will lift up. I'm not saying give them the whole the Joker smile. If you tried that, I'm out of the door. The moment that I started even seeing your smile, I'm already gone. So just practice that in the mirror. Make sure that you are softening your eyes. That's the whole point of it. Your eyes are softened. You don't have to show all your teeth. You don't have to have your tongue out. You will be just all right. Now let's move on, ladies, to she speaks with intention, and she doesn't feel the need to talk over people or feel every silence. There's a difference between an uncomfortable silence and just a normal silence. A normal silence is that we are all used to each other and we feel that we can all do our own things. A normal silence is basically what you and your best friend do. You text for today and you guys are cool, you catched up and all that, and then next week you guys go again and you text and do all those fun things, and just in between everyone is doing their own business, they're living their lives, but then you all know that you will be okay when you guys reconnect. Sometimes in a relationship it shows up too, but we all have different types of attachment, which involves sometimes another person needs to be in contact and know the other one is okay for them to feel secure. It doesn't mean that they are insecure in a sense of like they just desperately want to know what they're doing. No, it just means that I want to know if you are safe. That's it. Are you okay? Okay, that's fine. That's all I need. Okay, now the insecure type of silence would be the ones where you have to know where they're at, what they're doing, what did they eat when they woke up. That's insecurity. Okay, and you don't have to be ashamed because you are insecure. Sometimes we don't even control it, but you can work your way out of it. Don't think just because you're insecure you have to just stay there just because. No, you can't work your way to a secure attachment. And on the same point of she speaks with intentions involves the fact that, she's not just going to cuss you out. She's going to be very polite with you. She's going to look at you and make sure that she's hearing what you say. She's going to give you advice based on what you say. And if you asked her a question, she's going to answer your question. That's it. She's not going to be rude about it. And she's not going to do anything crazy. Unless you're very disrespectful. Then, my ladies, you have all permission. You have all my permission. You have permissions of all elegant women to be nice, nasty. Don't be disrespectful. Just nice, nasty. We can dive into some nice, nasty words in another video. I will teach you guys some terms to use. But then at the same time, don't just sit there and take disrespect. If someone disrespects you, you be nice, nasty, and you get up and leave. You don't have to wait for their permission to tell you to hang up or to leave, or no, you tell yourself to get up and leave. That's it. Okay, let's move on to the next point. She keeps her words. If she says that she's gonna be there at 6, she's gonna be there at 6. That's it. And if she knows that she's gonna be late, she's gonna confirm with you that, hey, I'm running a little late. Can we postpone it? Can we cancel? Can we do all that? Can we move it to a certain time? But if she doesn't change anything and 6 stays 6, then that's what's gonna happen. 6 will stay 6. Reliability is very attractive. You can rely on her. She's gonna be able to pick up your call. If you call and she doesn't maybe pick up, she will call you back. She will send you a text to maybe text her what's going on. Are you okay? That is very attractive. To be, it doesn't mean that you just have access to her anytime, but then it gives you access in knowing that if you ever needed her, she will be there. And at the same time, she also knows how to protect her peace. She also knows not to give too much of her time, not to give too much access. She will help you because, she knows that you need her, that other people need her, but then she will protect her peace. She will go ghost randomly because she's trying to recover all her energy that she's been pouring into helping other people. And I do that a lot of the time. I genuinely disappear. And there will be times where, I'm out here, I'm socializing, I'm interacting with people, but there's just times where I have to recharge. I have to be by myself to just be able to think, to process all the energies that I was around, to make sure that I'm getting enough rest for myself. That's how I recharge. I don't just, go ghost on random people or just stuff like that. No, I have to recharge. I will be back, but until then, I have to recharge. I have to see if there's anything in me that needs fixing, and and also if I was in a little argument or something like that, it gives me time to refresh about what did I say wrong, what did the other person say wrong, how did I react, was my reaction a good reaction, was I wrong for that? If it wasn't, then I have to apologize. Then I have to take a step back. I don't have to be nagging the person and be like, hey, have you forgiven me? No, that's a statue of an elegant woman. Is that when she knows that she's wrong, no matter how arrogant, how her ego would go or how arrogant she might be, she will make sure that she gets to a point where she teaches herself to humble herself to that degree where she has to take accountability. Even if the other person won't do it, she has to. I do it. That I sometimes would, do some stuff that isn't right. But then at the same time, my ego just like would just vanish, leaves me and my 1 cent, not even my 2 cents, my 1 cent. And it would bring me to a place where I get to reflect on my own. And that's critical thinking. You sit there and to a point where you think about your own thinking. It doesn't make you crazy. And I know that's like one of the highest level of intelligence, the part where you think about your own thinking. It's not even about thinking about what another person says. That's easy. That's the easy part. Anyone can do it. Even a baby can do it. A toddler, they can do all that. But a person who can think about their own thinking, why did you act like this? Was it right for you to act like this? Okay, what are you gonna do to fix it? Do you think that will work? Okay, then let's give it a try. And you go to a point where you want to leave the past in the past, and you apologize and you say, I was wrong, I reacted this way, my reaction wasn't good, but it also proves that I am human, but I'm taking full accountability on how I reacted. And I too forgive you, even if they don't apologize. The fact that you forgave them, you don't have to. Sometimes letting things, karma is such a beautiful thing. Karma is such a beautiful thing. I don't believe in bad karma for myself. I don't believe that. I don't believe in evil, anything evil that can. No, I don't believe that, because I believe that I pour out to the world, and all the good things that I've done will literally scream for me. It overweights any bad thing that would have happened. I just don't believe in, good things always happen for me. I tell myself that because I choose to be genuine, because I choose to be good to other people. I know that one day that good will scream for me, that I may not, have done something good, but in the fact that I did this today, it's going to pay a price for me tomorrow. That's how you think. And that's such a beautiful thing. Okay? So ladies, don't be dwelling into problems and all that. If you are fighting with someone or in an argument or someone doesn't just want to talk to you and all that, you apologize. Send them a text. Call them. Apologize. And if they don't take it, that's for you. It's not even something that you have to think about for the rest of your life. We all have 24 hours. 24 hours. Nobody has 22. Nobody has 27. We all have 24 hours. The clock goes from 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. All of us are in reset. There's no one that's special that's going to say, no, I went to 25. The only reason they went to 25, or they could even use that sense of going into 25, chose to sacrifice an hour of the next day. Then, of course, they chose to stay up or work for 25 hours or whatever. It's in that sense. But in reality, even they are very much aware of this, that the clock restarts for all of us. And if you think I'm wrong, trust me, the next day, that same day, on their calendar, they're going to flip it over. It's going to be the same day as you. When they write it in their books, it's going to be the same day as you. When they check their phone, it's going to be the same day as you. To prove that there's no one that's going to be leaving and, having more hours than you. No. It depends on how you want to spend your hours. That's it. That's the difference between you and them. They're choosing to sacrifice an hour of their next day to better themselves. You are choosing to maybe do something else to maybe better yourself or not. It just depends. There's no one that's above the other in general, but in what makes another person better is what they're choosing to do with their 24 hours. Some people spend their 24 hours trying to put another person down. Some people don't even focus on their 24 hours. Some people are just genuinely focusing on the 24 hours, like really going in. What are you doing with your 24 hours? Are you doing anything to better yourself? So if someone decides to not talk to you, or someone decides that whatever you guys went through was so horrendous that they cannot, fathom to even listen to you, okay, it's their healing journey. Give them time to heal. And when I say time, it means step back. Genuinely step back and live your life to the fullest. Go all in, live your life. And when they are ready, then that's fine. A lot of people, we all have different healing systems. Just because I need space to heal doesn't mean you need space to heal. Maybe you need to come closer to me to heal. Maybe you need a year to heal. Maybe you need a month. Maybe you need, a specific thing, an object. Some people need maybe their previous teddy bears or that they had growing up. We all have different healing systems. So you shouldn't also be holding stuff on other people. Just saying. Let's move on, ladies. And ladies, if you have not subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment down below. Well, back to the topic of she dresses appropriately. I spoke about this a long time ago, like 2 years ago, but since time has passed, it's maybe time for me to bring it back. And we can dive deeper into this topic in another video. But the first impression that someone has of you, it's not gonna be what you said. It's not gonna be any of that. It's going to be how you look. That's the first impression someone will have of you, unless the person is blind. Then that's another bracket. But majority of us here, the first impression that I will have of you is not what you said. It's gonna be how you looked. Because you may be homeless. You may be looking like a homeless person and speaking facts. And I promise you that 90% of this world will ignore you. We all. I'm not even gonna be here and be like, no, I won't ignore you. I too. Everyone else will ignore you. Why? Because your presentation. Humans are attracted to attractive things, attractive people. That's how it is. So you have to present yourself to the level of rooms that you are going into. You have to represent that. It doesn't also involve just you have to be in that room for you to represent that. If you are looking for a job as a salesperson, dress like that. How do salespeople dress? Embody that. Learn to be in that atmosphere already. I remember growing up, I was so interested in the whole topic of elegance and etiquette that I had a aunt actually who I love until today, and she would embody this statue so well, and the way she did things, it was so interesting that she would carry herself in this type of manner, and she wouldn't have to say 10 words. She would just say something and it stays that. And everyone respected her. I wanted to be like her. She was like my role model. And it was the same thing as Meghan Markle. When I couldn't see my aunt, I had the figure of Meghan Markle. And in the age of social media, you could just go, and that is before Meghan Markle got married to the prince. So I remember even drawing her little dress, her wedding dress. I still have it until today. I drew the dress because I was so interested in how she became such a, an elegant woman, the way she spoke. And it made it even better when she became a princess, because I was like, oh my God, really? And she started dressing so feminine, and if you watched Meghan Markle's shows and movies, then you understand that the Meghan that she was before the movies and the Meghan now is two different people, basically. And seeing her transform like that, it inspired me to, be able to change too, to be able to believe that I can change. If Megan could, I can too. And so I started learning how she walked, and I saw that Megan loved wearing a lot of heels, and I was like, I want heels. So my brothers would literally get me now more heels, because that's all I'm talking about. I want heels. And I got heels. My brothers got me like headbands, and they got me like coats, and I was like, yes, this is what I want. And which is very weird, because growing up, I grew up in the house of just boys, and in that you kind of adapt into being somewhat like a boy, right? I played soccer, and I played netball, I played athletics, I did all of that basically. So in being like that and seeing your brothers doing all this crazy stuff, like one of my brothers played rugby, another one came and they were like swimming, and another one was doing athletics, and another one was like, they were all just blended. It's not like they just stick to like one person stick to like rugby. No, they played different spots. One person played different, and they were like getting all these trophies. And I'm introduced to that world, so now I want to do it. Now I want to learn those kind of stuff. And I've always been open about this. It kind of made me a little avoidant, because now I'm doing very masculine stuff, so it's really hard for me to tap into my femininity until I was introduced to ladies, because my brothers grew up and they kind of started hanging out with their friends more. And in doing that, yes, they would buy me like pink jackets, but let me just emphasize that when they got me the shoes, it would have to be a Puma shoes and pink. Like they were trying to embody both the feminine and the masculine together in one shoes. And they're like, here's a gift. It's both man and woman. You choose who you want to be. So most of my stuff that I owned, it was just embodying two energies at once. And I've always been open that it made me avoidant, a very big avoidant, but I chose to get out of that. But until I remember we got a housemaid, and she actually loved watching Indian movies. And this is just a small story time, but she loved watching Indian movies, and she laughed a lot. She was not like a very loud laugh. No, she was like a genuine laugh, like and just those stuff were not funny at all, like at all. And my brothers were not around, so when I come back from classes, she was the only one that was there. So I would sit with her, and we're watching Indian movies. And as I was sitting with her, and the way she was doing, she was like taller than me, like way taller. She was like a tall lady, and she would walk and move her hips and stuff like that. And when she spoke, she would speak and give you so much respect. And my brother's being younger than her, she's giving like so much respect to them. And I'm like, I want that. Like, teach me that. And then, she started telling me that a lady has to do like this, a lady has to wash her hands this many times. And we would sit down and watch Indian movies. And as we started watching it, I also started getting that mentality of how to behave like a elegant woman, because I think with Indian women, they are very feminine in a way. Yes, they are mean. Don't get it twisted, they are mean, but at the same time, they're very feminine. Even the way they dress, do you not see it? The way they dress, the way they talk, especially in the movies, they're very dramatic. And if you picture it, a lady is very dramatic. Ladies are very dramatic. You may just get a little cut and it's the end of the world, So in a movie, the movies were truly embodying that someone would just fall and they like screaming, and it's like slow motion, and the guy's like, no. all that, and you seeing it play out, and she's like giggling, and I'm like, no, it's not funny, stuff like that. But then I started getting introduced more to shows of girly things, and I didn't want to play sports anymore, which now forced my brothers to kind of like start buying me girly stuff. And I remember they got me like a new phone patch, and it had like this it was like a famous thing that people did, but it had like the handle behind the porch where you can just put your 2 fingers and just hold the phone without doing all that. Yeah, it was very cute, and it was like floral. All those kind of stuff came into play, and it taught me how to tap out of my masculinity in a way. And this is just to say, ladies, that if you did grow up in an environment like that, or even a tough environment, it doesn't have to even be where you grew up with just a man in the house. It can be maybe you grew up in a very bad neighborhood. It could be that you grew up in survival mode, or just trying to feed everyone, and you did not actually take time to yourself. This story should inspire you that you can change. If I could, you definitely can too. And I think I've done a very good job with myself. I am still proud. Yes, I still am working with a lot of things about myself. I'm still discovering myself in a way too as I age, what I like, what I don't like. But it takes time. But at the same time, when you are learning more, that's it, you are way ahead. Now let's go back in the topic of dress for the occasion. It just means that you can't be going around wearing mini skirts in a job interview. You can't be going around wearing sweats in a job interview, even if it's for a very normal 9-to-5 job. Dress appropriately. You don't have to be looking like you just came out of the Met Gala, but it means that you respect yourself, and you respect the environment that you were going into so much that you would put time into dressing for it. And it actually also shows the other person that you are the kind of people that they want. So dress appropriately, and wear ties. These other ways to do that. I actually love the way finance bros wear, because it's so casual, but you can do anything with it. Honestly, it passes. With most of the stuff, a finance bro's outfit will pass. We can talk deeper into this in another video, but no, I don't know what they call those types of pants where it's just cut all over your knees, it's cut all over your thighs. And no, we don't do that over here. We don't do that. We don't wear crop tops too. Avoid crop tops, avoid those pants, avoid anything that's see-through like that. If it's gonna be see-through, you must be at the beach. If it's not, then you have to wear an undergarment that's same tone, not as your skin, but as like the pants outside. Because if it's the same tone as your skin, then you kind of look naked. So if it's the same tone as the pants that you're wearing, then it's not going to look like we all just seeing you right there. Have your clothes ironed all the time. And I don't personally iron them, I steam my clothes. But if you can't iron them, still works. You don't have to go all fancy like that. And make sure you're dressing for your body type. I see a lot of women dress, and the dress is very beautiful, and it may even be expensive, but you're not dressing for your body type, so it looks cheap. That's why it doesn't look nice, because you're not dressing for your body type. Look for your body type. Are you a pear shape? Are you an hourglass? Are you just thin? Look for whatever body type that you have and dress for it. Do you have tall legs? Do you have skinny hands? What do you have? And then go with it. And it's the same thing with your nails. Look for the type of nails that would suit you better. Just because somebody else did acrylics doesn't mean you should do acrylics. Because what if your hands were made for just French? Stick to what suits you. We have 2 more points, and we have she makes people feel comfortable. You know, she includes people in conversation. She makes them feel like they can open up to her, that they can trust her. Now, another thing, you shouldn't be making people feel like they can trust you with big secrets, as in things that would get you into trouble. You shouldn't even want to know that. Just because they can trust you like that doesn't mean that you should know. Okay, you will be there for them, but it doesn't mean that you have to know. Sometimes it's just for the best, but you make people feel comfortable. You include them in conversation. If you are sitting in a group and you feel like one person is being left out, you know, you include them. You ask them, what do you think? I'm more interested in you. That's how you feel. You make a person feel more, you know, involved and more included. That you tell them that I'm more interested in you. Not anyone that spoke here. I'm more interested in you. What do you like? Because I know that you're thinking. I read so much about you, and I've seen the way you work, and you know, everything about you just gives a legend. It gives Mark Zuckerberg. Who are you? Basically, tell us about yourself. You know, now a person feels very confident in themselves, that you have put them in a bracket where they feel most appreciated, and even comparing them to a legend. Now I want to talk about myself, because what do you mean? Do you see what's happening here? That's psychology for you. Now let's move on to the last option. We have, she leaves every place a little better than she found it. If you go into a space, if you go into a relationship, if you go into a friendship, don't go in there trying to ruin another person's life. Don't be the reason someone actually has a bad life. Don't be the reason why someone felt like they couldn't do anything, or they are stuck or in calamities. Don't be the reason. You are a lady. You are there to make them better. You are there to maybe have a long-lasting love life with them. But don't try to ruin other people's life. I don't know what's the point of even trying to do that. What do people gain from trying to ruin someone else's life? Your whole thing is just to ruin someone's life. I'm so direct that I would genuinely ask somebody that. So your whole theme is just for you to ruin people's lives, just to criticize them? Okay, then what is your whole point? Oh, okay, so it's just to criticize people. Okay, I see. Okay, very nice. Don't be the reason someone else decides to not want to feel motivated in bettering themselves. You are a lady. You are there to help them as much as they will help you. Don't overgive to someone. If you see that you are giving more, you have to kind of stop. You will end up giving things that even belong to you, things that you should be pouring to yourself. You end up giving it while knowing very well that you have no way else of getting it. So don't overgive to you. You can only give what you have. When it gets to a point where it's between you and the other person, you always pick you. Okay? I'm not even trying to be selfish. You pick you. Because if this was another person, the person that you were thinking about right now, if it was them on the line, they would pick themselves. So you always pick you. They will be fine. Trust me. If there's one thing that you should know, always remember this, that your heart will not let you die. Your heart will do every single thing. Even your mind, it will do anything just to keep you alive? Why do you think that someone will try to suffocate you, and you will scream, you will try to scratch them, you will do every single thing just to stay alive? That's your mind, that's your heart. It will fight until the last breath. So don't you believe that for 1 second that someone else, will just let themselves down like that. Their body may, but in their mind and their heart will fight. So don't sit there trying to be like, no, they won't fight. No. You are definitely gonna be okay. They will definitely be okay. If they need counseling, then you offer them some places to go. If you can't do it, if you have reached your limit, that's it. You will even end up ruining your mental health. Just imagine, they are fine, they've healed. Now what about you? Where have you gotten to? Oh, you have decided to be a psychologist. Where have you gotten to? Oh, now you are from being a psychologist to being in a psych ward because you just loved saving people so much. No. You've done enough. We appreciate you. You've done a lot of charity work. It's now time to do some charity work for yourself. Can we do that? Can we? Anyways, ladies, I think this video is very long enough, and we can dive into more topics like this on my next video. If you want me to talk about a specific thing, you have any questions, just leave it down in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and share this to any of your friends, family, girlfriends, wives, sisters, aunts, who you think needs to start their elegance journey. And I will speak to you all beautiful women next time. Bye. Everybody talks about changing their life overnight, but here's the secret. It starts with a 5-second pause. Before you react, before you send a wrong text, before you buy something that you shouldn't even be doing, before you say something that doesn't align with your future and higher self, you pause. That's it. Those 5 seconds interrupts the old version of you and gives, the new version of you a chance to choose differently. And now I want you to ask yourself, what would the highest version of me do? Would she still be in that situation? Would she neglect her skin? How do you think she would feel if she saw you right now eating all this junk food and ruining your skin? Will she feel like one day she would be able to shine? No. And it all comes down to the sense of you see yourself as this beautiful woman who maybe has a career, maybe owns a job. You see her and you see her so vividly, but at the same time, you keep blocking her to a point where she feels suffocated and realizes that one day she's not even going to be able to come out. Why? Because you don't interrupt yourself. You don't interrupt your nervous system once you're about to make a bad decision. When you're in a fight, what happens? You don't interrupt. You have to interrupt. And what happens when you interrupt? You do the 5 seconds pause. That's interrupting. You have to interrupt it because your highest version is not going to be sitting there arguing with people. Your highest version is not going to be eating junk food every second. She's probably going to be drinking water every 10 minutes. So ladies, become her through your daily choices. My darlings, welcome back to my channel. This is Fran's Company, and in my channel I'll help you become your dream self. So if you are interested in this type of videos, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video to someone who you think needs to start their elegance journey. Jumping on to point number 1, start taking care of your skin. Not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because caring for yourself builds confidence. Do you not see yourself when you are literally a different person from when you wake up to when you put makeup? Do you not understand that? That when you wake up, of course, you don't feel your best. You don't feel like, you love yourself, but at the same time, you don't feel like you are radiating your best version. So, but when you put makeup on, it's a different you. You feel like this gorgeous princess or queen, and you feel like, you can do anything, you can rule this world. That's the version of you that we need to keep radiating every second. She needs to come out every second, because when she does, eventually you will notice that you have become her. Like, she doesn't even have to come out anymore, because you've literally just become her through changing your daily habits. And a simple, consistent skincare routine goes much further than chasing every trend. You don't need to be buying all this expensive stuff that comes out every 2 seconds. No, you don't have to do that. Okay? Find something that works for you and go with that. I would recommend, and I've been recommending this, just see a dermatologist. Skip the line. See a dermatologist. Instead of trying all these skincare products that influencers are trying to get you to buy, just go see a dermatologist, see what is wrong with your skin and fix it. That's it. Because the same money that you are choosing to spend on skincare, if we calculate it over how many times you're going to buy it in a year, it's basically going to be the same amount that you're going to spend on a dermatologist, even much more than that. So why not just spend it on a dermatologist and get something that actually works for you? Because I know they're going to provide you with skincare stuff that actually works for you, that is meant for you. It's made for you, not somebody else. The skincare products that other people are making, influencers and all the celebrities, yes, we love them, but at the same time, they were not made for you. How do you know it's made for you? Why? Because it says it's made for people with dry skin, then you think it's for you. No, you may have dry and acne. What happens there? Okay, because the product just says dry. Now, what about your acne? Are you just gonna spend more money on the other product? Like, what are you doing? Instead, go see a dermatologist, and she's gonna prescribe you something that actually works for you. It's a one-time thing, and if you use it properly, you will be fine. Moving on, take care of your body. Move it, nourish it, stay hydrated, sleep well, and choose habits that make you feel strong and healthy. Ladies, you have to move, okay? You literally have to move. You can't be complaining about you are getting fat and you don't move. Take a walk, okay? If you drive, take a walk. Have you tried taking a walk to the grocery store? If the grocery store is miles and miles away from you, okay, then have you tried taking a walk to the park? Have you tried doing that? And you know what's the best thing about moving your body? It's that when you're doing that, your brain actually starts to refresh. Your brain actually gets to breathe. And you by nature, your body loves nature. So what do you think? Do you think you're harming yourself more by going on a walk rather than sitting in a car? You know how many people have died while sitting in a car? You know the air that's coming out of the car? You've been sitting in that car for what? Hours and hours and driving and doing all that and getting your blood clots, and you think that's going to be much more helpful than taking a walk? Take like a 30 minutes walk. It's going to help you so much. Get fresh air. Yes, the air conditioning it's amazing, right? We all love it. Well, I personally don't. I don't like the cold, by the way. So no. Anyways, the air conditioning, it's nice and all that, but at the same time, you need fresh air. That's it. You need that air. You need to be with fresh air. The air conditioning, it's amazing, but at the same time, it's getting stuffed with dust and all that. So you're breathing all this toxic stuff, basically. Okay, because it's also mixed with your perfume. It's also mixed with the scent of your house. It's also mixed with the scent of the food. It's also mixed with all these types of scent. Just take a walk, okay? Just take a walk. Like, just thinking about it overwhelms me. Take a walk and try to calm yourself. Let your body move. Let the blood move. You need to move, okay? Even when you're sitting on a plane, you need to get up at a certain time and move. You really have to. This is how people just get cramps out of nowhere. This is how people just get blood stuck in their, blood clots. Why? Because you're not moving. Your blood needs to move. It just imagine this. You not moving is literally you putting an elastic band on your arm, just having it down there. And then what happens? You are suffocating yourself. It will get to a point where your brain gets suffocated because your blood is not breathing. Your blood is not moving, darling. You have to move. When I say you have to move, it means your blood is moving. And moving doesn't just have to be, taking a walk. Moving can be jumping like 100 times every single day. That's your goal. Jump 100 times every single day. Another thing is going to do Pilates. And I'm not talking about moving like, oh, it's a hobby, just cook. No, that's not moving. It's you staying still and doing something that it's gonna benefit your brain, in a level of skills, train your brain how to do some stuff. But I'm trying to stick to the fact that your blood needs to move. And how does that work? Is you have to move. And it's not moving like just stirring the pot. No, unless you were paralyzed, no offense. But no, you have to actually be on the road with fresh air and move. That's it. Now, stay hydrated. We all know this. Drinking warm water, it's going to help with constipation. Okay? Drink warm water. Before you go to bed, when you wake up, drink warm water. I've literally been knowing this since I was like 14 years old. Like my aunt's friend actually is the one that told me about that. And if you want to go a longer route, put lemon in your water and just drink it. It will literally detox your whole body. It's amazing. Warm water. And also, I don't even need to be saying this, but drinking water in general, you should know that by now. Like since you were born, you should know that. Like you need water. Moving on. Sleeping. That's another point into taking care of your body. You need to sleep. Get your 8 to 9 hours of sleep every day. Do I do it? Hell no. Because like it's not because, I'm purposely, I understand this point. Some of us actually have, a sleep schedule that's really messed up. I actually stayed in 3 countries, which had literally 3 time zones. So by the time that I'm moving to another country, my sleep schedule is already damaged right there. And as I'm moving to the other country, I'm I'm just wide awake at this point. By the time that everyone in this specific country is waking up, I'm going to bed. And I understand that. I truly relate. But at the same time, if you are doing everything right, you'll find out that you get to sleep with your normal schedule. Like just taking a walk, it will literally tie your body up. Like a toddler when they're like playing a lot and then they just naturally fall asleep. So why are they playing a lot? What are they doing? They are moving. That action, it's moving. You don't just see a toddler doing what? Drinking, playing with the teapots, and then they come back and they're like, oh, I'm sleepy. No, you have to, they must be doing something really illegal. They have to be doing something really crazy for them to be like, yeah, I am tired now. I want to go sleep. Like, look, if you have a child, pay attention to your child. When they talk about teapots and all that, they're not gonna feel sleepy. But when they're in active mode, or even their brain is in active mode, what happens? They get tired, easily, and they get to sleep. So, moving on, okay? The other point was choosing habits that make you feel strong and healthy. What makes you feel strong and healthy? Not what makes me feel strong and healthy. What makes you feel that? Because we may not even have the same thing, At the same time, you have to also look at what benefits you. Are you even allowed to lift up 50 pounds of weight? Are you even allowed to do that? Maybe I am, but are you? What's going to happen when you do it? Can your heart sustain that? That's me going broader and going to another section, but it still falls into this category that you also have to be very careful with the things that you think makes you feel strong and healthy. They may build up your body, but it may be killing your whole system inside. That's the thing. Are you supposed to be drinking vinegar? I can tell you right now, drink apple cider vinegar, or influencers can tell you, yes, drink all this Bloom stuff. We love Bloom. Let's pause there. I love Bloom. Nothing against them. But at the same time, if it's good for them, are you sure it's good for you? You may thinking that, yes, it's detoxing you and all that, but what if it's actually killing you? So find something that you know yourself best. I don't need to tell you about yourself. What I do here is not me telling you about yourself. It's me speaking to you. You're already there. I'm just speaking to you. I'm just communicating to you. That's why you tapped on the video, because I'm just communicating. But anyways, do stuff that makes you feel strong and healthy. And taking a walk is a healthy thing. Trying a new hobby, it's a healthy thing. Trying to cook, it's a healthy thing. It's thing that's keeping your brain also, it's keeping the blood in your brain going to, at the same time, you learn new techniques and you learn new skills. It's a nice thing for your brain to learn how to do a lot of stuff. And I like a few days ago, I actually saw on social media, there was this boy that was learning a skill every day, and he ended up doing something that blew up. Like, he did something that was unimaginable. But anyways, learn a skill. For those of you that are in college, learn the dictionary. How do you learn? I did it. So get a dictionary every day. Pick a random page. Just open a random page and then pick one word and use that word like every single day. And then the next day, pick another word. Choose a random page, pick a random word, and then use the word that you used yesterday combined with the word that you used today. And then go like that. You will see that your vocabulary will actually advance so much. You will know so much. And there's nothing wrong with knowing so much. I don't want any of my ladies thinking that knowing too much is just the bad thing. Yes, it can be bad and good. Too much knowledge is bad. But at the same time, if you know something that's good for you, if you know a fact, are you just supposed to say that, no, I'm going to put myself down just so I can please you for being wrong? No. If you know something is good, you stand by it. That's it. It's not a yes, no, you stand by it. That's it. Okay? And if you know something is good for you, you stand by it. Anyways, let's move on, okay? Ladies, dress like the woman you are becoming. You don't need the most expensive wardrobe. I saw in my previous video, there was a young lady asking if it's important just to dress, with expensive items when you're going on a date. No, you don't. You actually don't. You don't need to be buying all this expensive clothes from these expensive stores. You don't need to be doing that. And also another thing, most of these influencers, most of these people that you like their things, they buy dupes. Like, a lot of them just buy dupes. Do we all know that? Do you know that dupes are a real thing? But the fact that they're taking care of themselves so much, you start to think that it's the real thing. Okay? Some of them may have real Birkins. Some of them may have real Pradas and all this kind of stuff. I love Prada, by the way. But at the same time, the top may be from Shein, but it has the Louis V logo on it. But they are so clean, they look so put together that you think it's real. No, you have to master that art, the art of looking clean. And how do you do that? Your skin has to do it. It has to look clean. Not to get you lost here, but another hack that I want you guys to use is trying concealer under your eyes. Okay, for those of you that don't just like wearing makeup, try concealer. Don't try something that's lighter than you. Try something that's to your skin tone and try it under your eyes, and you will see that you will look so much younger. Just test it out. You will look so much younger. But at the same time, you don't have to going back to what I was saying, you don't have to be wearing all this expensive stuff. If you master the art of looking clean, you do the essentials, do your eyebrows, make sure your lips are moisturized, make sure your skin is moisturized, have your nails done, and your lashes, you have mascara on, you will be fine. You will be fine. At the same time, I'm not saying don't put makeup. I'm just saying, if you master the art of looking clean, you won't even be having to spend billions of dollars just for you to look like you have money. No. Anyways, I hope that answers your questions, that you don't have to be wearing the most expensive thing just to go on a date. That's really crazy. If you look clean, you are fine. A white tank top with jeans and heels, you're fine. If you have your hair curled or straightened, you are fine. Okay? And again, make sure your clothes fit well. Make sure you feel like you are radiating your best self, especially if you're going on a date. I would expect you to feel your best self. If you don't feel good about the date, don't go. Listen to your intuition. Do not go. Not because something bad is going to happen, but because your nervous system is going to happen. It's just for something. It doesn't need you to go on that day to notice that the man is wrong. Your nervous system is telling you right now, you can't handle that much pressure right now. So you listen, okay? Anyways, guys, I'm trying to make this video as short as possible, but I think we're passing through my 10 minutes mark. But again, the last tip that I wanted to give you guys is to pay attention to the people around you, the conversations that you have, the energy that you accept, and the standards that you tolerate to influence you or the directions that you're heading. You can't be complaining about not leveling up or not having the circle of not having a circle of people that influence you, when the circle that is around you, all they do is gossip, all they do is complain, all they do is talk about why they don't have jobs, all they do is talk about why the government is bad, all they do is talk about why they are suffering. And then you're gonna sit there and complain to you and say, no, the people around me just no. It's you are toxic. Let's start there. You are the most toxic person in that whole group because you are self-aware and you still choose to be there. That's another level of craziness. That's craziness to another level. You are fully aware that this space is not bettering me, but you still choose to what? You still choose to stay. You still choose to what? Because you're trying to have friends. I'm sorry, ladies, if you're scared to lose friends, then maybe you're not ready for your next stage. If you are scared to go up, to level up with nobody next to you, then you are not ready. You need to be okay with knowing that whatever happens here, I will be able to hold myself as I'm walking. That if it needs me to cut everyone out because they don't represent my best self, they don't, go hand in hand with my best self, then I need to cut them out. I need to be okay with that. There's no crying and all. I need to be okay. I am okay. You need to tell yourself that every single day. I am well. It is well with me. It starts there. It is well with me. If you're gonna leave, it is well with me. If you're gonna stay, then you're going to have to meet my standard where it is. That's it. You're not gonna meet it where you think it's comfortable for you. You're gonna meet it where it makes me believe that I am becoming a better self of myself. And I will do the same to you. This is not all about you. This is also about the next person. because at the same time, you may get a person that literally goes hand in hand, even much better than your dream self. But are you representing their dream self? Do you do the things that they need? And do you see what's happening here? If you put 1 and 2 together, you're becoming way better than what you thought. And they are becoming way better than what they thought. So you guys are actually working hand in hand. It's so beautiful. But if it comes to a point where you are scared to lose somebody because you just don't want to be alone, then you are not ready. Then firstly, enjoy yourself. Stay there for enjoyment. Enjoy, play around, fool around. Just don't get pregnant. Okay? Fool around. And then after that, then you can come back to my videos. Then we can talk about this whole, what do you want to do? Do you want to become your dream self, or are you still anxious about walking alone? And if you are anxious about walking alone, then this is why my community is here. This is why my ladies are here. Not just me, my ladies, the ones that listen to me, the ones that follow me, they're here for you too. They will help you. And they will walk hand in hand with you. Anyways, this video is very long. And remember, ladies, a glow up isn't just about looking different. It's about thinking differently, speaking differently, choosing differently, and living differently. Your future self isn't waiting for someday. No. This second is your future self. This second, your future self is asking you and begging you just for you to pause, just for you to give them 5 seconds to just show up. That's it. She starts with the next decision that you make after this video. And maybe it all just begins with 5 seconds. That's it. Ladies, I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I did making it for you. I hope you're gonna take the advice, and I hope to hear all about your journey down in the comment section below. I will see you ladies next time. Bye. Before I start this video, I want to give a quick second to all gentlemen who logged in without cause. This is for my ladies, with an exception to gentlemen who need to hear this advice or information for their daughters or any stand-up parents. Now that I have that cleared up, ladies, I want to firstly start by telling you that if you feel the need to go to the restroom, I want you to pause my video right now and go immediately. Not because you are waiting for my videos to start, not because you are waiting for someone to come in, not because you're waiting for anything. I need you to pause whatever you're doing and go immediately. And if you don't even give yourself that grace and respect, what makes you think your boss or anyone else would? Remember, you are your own example to people of how you want to be treated. Not just your words, but your actions too play a big role when it comes to how people treat you. You know, some people are visual learners, and if you don't show them, then you can't really blame them. My darlings, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, this is Dame Marie France, and in my channel I help you become elegant and I help you become your dream self. So if you're interested in this type of videos, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video to someone who you think needs to start the elegance journey. Okay ladies, as I was saying at the beginning of the video, that if you have an immediate need, especially when it comes to your body, you have to pay attention to it immediately. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bathroom need. It can be anything, but the reason why I emphasized on the bathroom was because as a lady you can get into big trouble while holding your bladder or stuff in the bladder, and you'll be a 29-year-old with a 60-year-old bladder, which is definitely wrong, and you have a lot of risk as you grow. And it doesn't have to be focused on the bathroom need. It can be anything. If you're feeling cold, get yourself a jacket. You don't have to wait for Prince Charming to bring you a jacket. Get up and go get yourself a jacket. Like, if you're feeling hungry, okay, go get yourself something to eat. Feed yourself, because you deserve that. It's a luxury that you can afford. It's not like you cannot afford that. You can. As long as you are living and you have energy, you have legs that are moving, hands, you can definitely do that. I apologize for the noise. I have my niece here and she's been vlogging, so we kind of have a little bit of a chaotic scene going on. But as I was saying, that if you have an immediate need, you have to focus on that. As a lady, I advise you to do that immediately. And I want you to prioritize every need of yours that comes to your body. Okay? As a lady, you have to, every week, you have to check yourself. When it comes to your breast, you have to check the sides. There are videos, ladies. It's not spoken about a lot in our community. It's Brooklyn. Mommy, can you come down? It's not spoken a lot in our community, which it should be, but it's not. So I'm taking the responsibility to come down here and speak to you ladies about this, so you understand that every week you have to actually put some time, a specific day, a specific time, to say that, okay, I'm going to check myself, see if I'm okay. It doesn't always have to be a mental thing. You don't always have to be unstable mentally. Your body can be unstable. Any signs of body and being unstable, we have stuff like lymph nodes. We have stuff like sore muscles, swollen legs. Those are body anxiety that we see being expressed, correct? Like the way people have mental problems and all that. Your body too can have a body problem, and we don't talk about that in our community, which is very wrong. We should actually be emphasizing on those stuff as a lady, because remember, we are a lot different when it comes to a gentleman and a man. There's a lot of difference when it comes to those type of genders, because a man, we need the brain. The man needs the brain. The man enters a room with the brain, but as a lady, you enter the room with the looks. Let's not get it twisted. Your looks is what gets you in the room. It's not because you have a smart brain. The only way we would know that you have a smart brain is once you enter the room, which you cannot enter if you don't look presentable. I'm going to dive into that more into other topics and videos that I will make later on, but this is just to dive a little bit into the whole dynamic of what you have to understand of taking care of your body. Because if your looks is what gets you in the room, and your looks, and your body is not looking stable enough physically, then how do you expect yourself to get in the room? Because there are certain circumstances where you get in the room based on people that have their leg cut. I forgot what they call them. My apologies, but the people that have their legs amputated, yes, that's the word. And people that have abnormal bodies, those people get themselves in the room. That's correct, but what they get in the room is very different from what you need, because they get pity, That's not what I want you guys to get. There's nothing wrong with all these ladies that got in the room based on that. There's really nothing wrong. I'm just saying that based on the difference between you and them, you are fine. So why would you want to get in the room and get pity? If you're getting pity from a room, especially when you are A-OK, then you're definitely going to get bullied. People are definitely going to walk on top of you. You're definitely going to be the maid. Because firstly, what is wrong with you? So you mean to tell me that you got in this room, people were treating you this way, and you don't even realize that there's something wrong? Okay, I'm just gonna go back to what I was saying. That is just to dive deeper into showing you guys how this all plays out. I love doing that. I love breaking down how this all, how situations go. It's like a fresh air of mine that I just give myself, But as I was saying, ladies, you have to be in good health. You have to be in good shape. And the only way you can do that is if you prioritize yourself. Every week, you sit down, you're like, okay, I'm going to check myself. Am I swollen in a way? Is my breast okay? Okay, I don't have any breast problems. Good. Okay, as a lady, you should check your breast every single week. You don't let any week pass. And the second that you find that there's something wrong, the second that you feel something is wrong, I don't care if you're sure or not sure, the second that something feels abnormal, even if you are incorrect, the second that you think something is abnormal, you know your body well, then you have to go get checked. You have to spend the dime to get checked. Okay, because people actually lose their lives, people lose their health based on that, and some people have lost it based on ignorance because they did not catch it sooner. Okay, and another thing, ladies, is if you get tired, go to sleep. What's stopping you from going to sleep? You're a lady. You shouldn't, as much as society has normalized you going to work and working a 9 to 5, working as a man, treating yourself in a certain level, being independent. There's nothing wrong again with being independent, right? But you are a lady. You are meant to be. You're not meant to work, basically. You're meant to be. You're meant to rest. You're meant to care. Those are your jobs. Those are what you have to do. So if you're tired, which you're definitely gonna be, then you're gonna stop and you're gonna go to sleep. Again, I don't want you to be ignorant, especially if you have 8 kids waiting for you and you're the only one that's taking care of the kids. Then you have to prioritize now. Then you have to have a straight schedule of, okay, this is the time that I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. I sleep at this time, I wake up this time. You making sure that you're getting your rest regardless. And the only way you can do that is if you're scheduling properly. You can't come here and complain that you're getting 4 hours of sleep, then you have poor level of scheduling things. You have to schedule that. Brooklyn, I'm sorry, I have to go get my Kaylin. Bring Brooklyn here. Brooklyn. Now, when it comes to other factors, I want to dive into what I have on my notes so that we can move on. And another factor is when it comes to a gentleman wanting to help you, I need you ladies to actually leave them be. If a gentleman, mommy, come on. What's going on?
I just was upstairs.
Why are you upstairs alone? Go get your phone and then come sit here. But then you're gonna have to turn the volume just a little bit down, okay? Now, when it comes to a gentleman, ladies, if he wants to help you open the doors, you let him be. I have this thing that I've adapted, that I just don't open my own doors. I've met or have sat down with a lot of high status or high value men that don't let me open my own door. And once I do, they think that I'm angry. They think that there's a problem and they have to fix it immediately, which you should get to that level where if you do something by yourself or you lift your own finger, they have to be scared. That when you reach that level, then you surely know that you have definitely reached that level of putting yourself first. That to a point where someone gets scared of why did you do something that you can clearly do, because you have the capacity to open your own door, but why don't you? It's because you have mastered the art of femininity, you have mastered the art of grace, of okay, yeah, come sit here. Thank you. Yeah, you can sit here. There. Okay. You have mastered the art of femininity, elegance, of seduction in a good way. We don't talk about bad seduction here. I teach you guys how to use that in a good way, which I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, there's no way that you can use seduction in a good way. It's always in a negative way. That's what people have mostly used it for, But in a lady is basically seduction, That's what I believe. Is no good or bad when it comes to seduction, when it comes to a lady, because you can be fully clothed and a man will still see you and still feel attracted to you, even after you've done nothing. You've clearly seduced them. So a lady on her own is seduction. That's literally, I feel like that's the definition of seduction. A lady, whether you are clothed, whether you're not, you still are capable of making a man fall. And people have actually normalized seduction to be a bad thing. That's the confusion, when people have normalized it to be a very negative thing. Now, if you guys hear cartoon or something in the background, I cannot control it. I'm sorry. She's gonna start crying, and yeah. But yes, people have normalized seduction to be a bad thing, but it just means that they're normalizing ladies to be a bad thing, which is definitely not normal, because again, as I said, you can be fully clothed in your most modest outfit, fully clothed, and you will still be able to get a man to be attracted to you. We have seen that everywhere. A good example is the ladies that wear the hijab, the Muslim ladies, or the Middle Eastern ladies. They cover their whole bodies, right? They have everything covered. The Indians, they have everything covered, but they still manage to get the man attracted. That is to say that it's not because they did anything, it's because their whole definition is that they're capable of doing that. They mastered the art of femininity. Femininity is seduction on its own. And ladies have to understand that, I'm going to just write it down so that we can dive into that in a different video, so that there's no confusion here. No one comes to my comment section saying, no, seduction is a bad thing. No, then you're saying ladies are a bad thing. Okay. Yeah, stick to your lane. Anyways, yes, what I'm trying to say, ladies, is that if you have a certain need, you have to handle that. It's your job to handle that. But when it comes to a man being present, you let them be. You let them help you. Especially if this specific man is adamant into doing something for you, like opening the door. You let them be. You let them open. There's nothing wrong with opening the door. Not everyone that opens the door for you likes you. Okay, let's also stop thinking like that, because you can go to the most upscale hotel, restaurant, and the people helping outside will help you open the door. What happens then? does it mean that they like you? No, it's their responsibility to do that. It's how they have been taught. And most of them are men because they understand their role. Their role is to open doors for you so that you walk comfortably, knowing that you are in safe hands, knowing that you are being taken care of. That whole gesture means you are being taken care of. It means you are being appreciated. It means that you're being acknowledged as a lady, that you will not lift a finger, that every step that you take into the hotel or into whatever this place you have come to, it just means that you will be catered to. Your needs will be met. That's the whole gesture of a man opening a door for you. And most men don't understand that. Most men just feel obligated. Most men are not most, that's a wrong word. That's a very wrong, I take it back. That's not all men are like that. I'm not also going to say majority are like that, because I feel like in this whole world, if we're counting to 100, I would say 40% of the men out there are low value. 60% are actually good. Not every lady taught a bad man. No, there are a lot of good ladies that have taught excellence. It doesn't matter if they're white excellence or black excellence. They have taught excellence. It's just that you haven't just found your match. If you found your match, then you're surely gonna get the treatment. And again, as I'm talking about this, it just made me think about something. Just because you have this, you didn't meet your match, doesn't mean the gentleman has to treat you wrong. That's when you know that you have met a dusty and you have met a low caliber man, because they don't treat you right. Because if a true man will treat you right, regardless of whether you are a match or not, you will be met with the same standard as a queen. Now, when it comes to yes, before I jump into the next point that I wanted to get to, I want you to have this mindset that whenever you're with a gentleman in a car, act like your hands are broken. You don't even have to pretend your hands are broken, because then the man understands that you're not going to lift your hands, you're not going to lift your fingers, you just sit. If he gets out of the car, you just sit. He should come down, knock on the window and be like, hey, open. You put down the the windows, and you look at him and be like, okay, what are we doing? And he's so obligated to now open the door for you. And that's when you get out. That's the only time you don't smile with them. Most ladies, that's how they get into big trouble, because they smile while saying something serious. That's the most craziest thing I've seen. I don't just smile. Like, it's something that I've seen ladies do when they're talking about something serious and they're smiling. Why are you smiling? You want someone to open the door for you, right? Okay, why are you smiling? Isn't that a serious matter to you? Do you just smile? No, I know some people, like, they have actually bad habits of being laughing in serious matters. You have to actually control that. That means you don't have you don't have come on, I just had this thing in my head. I'm now trying to find the word. You do not anyways, I'm not gonna waste this video trying to find the word, but it just means that you are not you don't have self-control. That is the word. Oh my god, you don't have self-control, because you can be in a funeral and while you're laughing, that's a very serious situation. Even if someone made a joke, I don't think I would laugh. Even if I did, I would probably fake it, or I would just not laugh, because that's a very serious situation. And even if the joke was funny, I don't think I'll be able to laugh, even if I knew the person or not. Regardless, that's a very serious situation. And ladies actually laugh. A lot of them smile and laugh in situations where they don't need to. You show a lot of your teeth. Growing up as an African, especially as a Congolese, I know there are many cultures, I think in Russia, that they speak about this, because I have my best friend, right? She's from, one of my best friends, she's from Russia. And she actually talks to me about a lot of feminine attributes that has been taught in her culture growing up. And one of them that we have very similar beliefs to is showing your teeth. In our cultures, we don't show our teeth. As a lady, you cannot be showing your teeth. Not to any lady, not to any guy. You don't just show your teeth. Why, as a lady, are you showing your teeth a lot? All of your teeth. You are smiling a lot. You don't smile, especially to a point where you show all your teeth. When you smile and you know that all your teeth are being shown, you are smiling a lot. You are overgiving. What are you doing? No, stop. I need you to actually stop. And it should stick to your head that you don't show all your teeth. You can smile with your mouth closed. That just puts you in a position where the other party doesn't know if you're actually genuine with your smile or if you're just faking it. You don't just smile. Especially if that's how people use you. That's how many ladies, I keep saying, that's how many ladies get into trouble, because they are smiling. They over smiling. Why do you do that? It's oh my god, it's my niece, actually. I'm so sorry, guys, but I have to say this, because I've gotten so many people tell me that my voice is literally like ASMR. My niece was just here vlogging like 2 minutes ago. I think her video is still going. And now she's falling asleep right here. And her video is still going. Yeah. But then, ladies, what I'm trying to say is that, a lot of I'm trying to change my darlings, like y'all's mindset, by saying that you don't have to smile a lot when it comes to men. Refrain from smiling a lot. Refrain from over giving to a man. If you refrain from showing attachment fast, especially to those of you that are very anxious, try to regulate that. Try to sort that out. You don't have to fix it, because you can't really fix it. But what you can do is control it. If you can reach to a point where you can control that, you'll be as powerful as a secure person. A secure person is just an anxious person who has found security. That's it. It's a person that has literally regulated their emotions. They're not really secure. They're anxious, but they have learned to become secure, or they have learned to control their emotional cycle, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Is she sleeping? Mm-hmm. Is her video going on? Her video is going on? Yeah. Oh boy. That's crazy. Oh my god. So, ladies, an insecure person is not anything special. It's just an anxious person that has learned to control their emotions, and that's what we all have to do. We're all anxious in something. I've come to understand that sometimes I get anxious when it comes to a certain person or a certain situation. It doesn't mean that I've become, when I say I'm secure, it means that nothing can shake me. No, I'm like you. We're all the same. But it's just different because I learned how to regulate my emotions. I learned not to just be shaken. then I become secure. But then trust me, if something happened to, no offense, my mom, I'm gonna be anxious. I have to. That's the most human thing. Being anxious is the most human thing. It's human. You have to be anxious in something, or else you have something. You're not Kyle XY. If you guys know that series, you're not that. So you have to be anxious with something. That's human, or else you have a problem. Okay, we're all anxious. There is nothing. I recently read a comment of a girl, and she was basically telling me how she's been trying to regulate this whole system, and how her environment has become a little hard to do it, how to regulate her emotional system and all that. You can't really change that, because remember, you can't change people's opinions, you can't change people's thoughts. But what you can do is control yours. Because if you can control yours and you become that powerful, mommy, come here. Bring the book. No, bring the book and the pen and come sit here. If you get to be able to control that, then you can read people, or you can just do what I do. It's not because I have this level of intelligence or I studied a lot. Most of the things that I tell you, ladies, it's not because I studied a lot. Yes, I did. I actually did. But then it comes from the fact that I was with I've been, growing up, I was with a lot of people that were not stable, or I was not with a stable, I'm not going to say parent, but a stable adult. Because stability doesn't only just come with, last year, what do we say?
Thank you.
We say thank you, girl.
Thank you.
Okay. Stability does not only come with, oh, you have to have a mental disorder. No. If you had a lot of different personas, which you're definitely gonna have growing up, that's instability. You are not stable with a specific parent, so you know how to adapt. You know how to deal with a anxious person, maybe a secure person, maybe a person who's always needy. You know how to handle that because you had all these characters growing up. And when it came to me, I literally lived in all those type of situations. It doesn't mean that I know everything, but it means that I know a lot to be able to detect that, okay, I'm with this type of person, and I have to, I have to now regulate myself to be able to sit down with them and actually have a conversation. And if you can't, or you are unable to detect a person's persona or character in the 5 seconds to 10 seconds that you are with them, you have a problem. Then you have 2 options right there, and your only options. And I'm telling you this with one heart, because you guys are my ladies, and you deserve to. I feel like it's my responsibility to talk to you ladies about this, because I never really had a figure that would come up to me and talk to me about this. But in what I'm trying to say is that if you're not able to sit down and actually detect someone's personality or character in the 5 to 10 seconds that you're with them, you have a problem, because you have 2 realities that are facing you right now. Either they detected you, now they're going to manipulate you or stop playing games with you, or both of you guys are ignorant. You would rather have someone who is literally manipulating you than someone who's ignorant. I don't like ignorant people, because an ignorant person would let you cross the road while seeing that happen. They would see that a car is literally coming towards you, but then they would zone out, or something would happen and they would ignore it and let you climb. They would let you go and you would get hurt. And then they would be like, and you could ask them like, hey, why didn't you say that? And they'll be like, I don't know. Those people where you say, why did you do this, or how, or all that, and they say, I don't know. Ignorant. And it's the most it's one of the personalities that I don't like around me, because those are very dangerous person. That is a very dangerous person next to you, more than a manipulator. Because someone who's manipulating you, we all manipulate, okay? There's no exception. We all do it, okay? We've all manipulated at some point. But in growing up, people have made, again, Kaylin, what's wrong? Come on. Are you still vlogging? Your vlog is still going on, girl. And I'm all over your vlog. Come on, come sit here. Are you sleepy? Do you want to go upstairs? Sure, you can go. Girl. Oh, you can go sleep there and I'll wake you up when I'm done here. Girl, bye. Go sit on the couch. Okay. Now, there's a difference between being a manipulator and just having emotional intelligence. And people have just normalized both of them to being, manipulated. That's why I say that we've all manipulated. No, we've actually, in other terms, we have not all manipulated. We've, all gone through an emotional intelligence situation. That's not manipulation, because manipulators use something and turn it into a bad thing. They just go against, what a good thing is. It's like a lie. A lie is just something that is just the truth that was turned around. That's basically it. And a manipulator is just someone who uses something against you in a bad way. But an emotional intelligence person is gonna know that, okay, they're gonna be able to detect. That's what I do. I detect, most of your moves. And when I do that, you're gonna think I'm manipulating you. But no, I already know that you're gonna say this, so I'm gonna say this. So I already have the script played out right there in front of you. And you're gonna sit here and think that I'm manipulating you. But no, I just read you very well, And what I'm trying to say, ladies, is that, so as I was saying, ladies, is that it's best to have someone who's manipulating you than someone who's ignorant, because you can actually get hurt with a person who's ignorant, because again, they will not know. But a person who's manipulating you, they do know. And a person who's manipulating you they could always, change their ways and all that, Those things do happen with people who are manipulators. They change. And, again, you could use your emotional intelligence to just get ahead of them and work your way and, detect that, okay, this person is manipulating, in a sense of, if they're manipulating and you didn't catch that, and you start watching basically maybe my videos or more emotional intelligent videos or ladies with wisdom, then you start to understand that, wait a minute, you're being manipulated. And when you start detecting that, then you can use your emotional intelligence to get back at the manipulator. So you're 5 steps ahead of them, that you can't be manipulated in that sense. But a person is ignorant, regardless of if you're emotional intelligent or not. An ignorant person is gonna get you in trouble, because what are you gonna do? You can look both ways, and you did not look in the sky, and the ignorant person looked in the sky and saw a plane coming down, and then now here you are doing this, and they're not telling you to go left, and you go you go this way, and then now plane has hit you, which I know is a very bad scene that I just described right now. But then again, it shows you the degree that a person who's ignorant would go, and then just come back and say, I don't know. Now here you are in trouble. You can't even explain it. Now you look crazy. Now you actually look crazy, because what do you mean you don't know? So you didn't look in the sky? But the ignorant person actually saw it, and they have the image in their head that they saw it, but they don't know why. But you didn't. So now, they can't just go to their head and be like, oh, okay, now you're stuck here trying to explain something that does clearly, it doesn't even make sense, but it does make sense. You clearly, if a person who's ignorant. Kaylin, what's the problem? Your head hurts? And you're tired? Why don't you go sleep, girl? Are you waiting for me?
Yeah.
Okay, give me 5 minutes. That's my niece, guys. But yes, you're just dealing with an ignorant person. And if someone is not as emotional intelligent, or they have never really surpassed this situation, then they're gonna think you're crazy. And that's how people get in trouble when it comes to lawyers and all that, the courtroom, because sometimes you're dealing with an ignorant person and you can't justify that, because the ignorant person is gonna say what they don't know. And when that happens, is you're doomed. But a manipulator, you can detect that. But an ignorant person, you can't prove it. What are you gonna prove? What's there to prove? It's all in their head. Ladies, this is all to say that you have to learn to prioritize yourself. You have to learn to accept people's help. As a lady, you have to. That's one of the traits of a feminine lady, that she could, but she won't. I could perhaps put on my shoes. My hands are still here with me, thank God. But then I'm gonna let a gentleman put it on. It doesn't mean that I'm making him a slave, but it just means that he's now catering to my needs. And if I feel tired enough that I can do it, surely he can make me happy in that aspect, can't he? And a man that truly is sitting in his masculine is not going to think that you're making him a dog. Remember, men cater to women. That's their job. They give to you. So you have to remember that. Now, I have my niece that's very sleepy, that even until now she is still vlogging, being asleep. So, and I have my other niece who's clearly sitting here. Brooklyn, come say hi.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Just showing my hand.
Showing your hand. Really cute. She's drawing. It's midnight right now, and we are all gonna go sleep. And I'm here for Thanksgiving. Let me just have a second to say that I'm really grateful for all of you ladies, and for all my ladies that have came from my other channel. For my ladies that has been with me for years, I am really grateful for all of you, the new and the old. You have made my brand, you have made my name something. And I'm grateful to God for giving me all of you ladies, giving me ladies to help with wisdom, knowledge. To all my younger ladies, I'm grateful for all of you giving me the opportunity to help you, because I know there are times where it's hard to let someone in, but when you let someone, especially on the internet, talk to you and give you advice and you take it, it's really something, whether we know each other or not. Now, I am working on my brand, and it's soon gonna be up very soon, I hope. I'm working on it with a few team members, and again, the brand is gonna focus on a lot of aspects. But for now, if you have any special questions or you need special attention, you can surely email me or you can text me on my Instagram. I do respond, okay? I do respond, especially to my ladies. I do respond. It doesn't matter how stupid or how important your needs or questions are. I do respond to it. And unless it's an insult, if it's an insult, then I'm not. You should know better than to do that. But then for anyone that has real, whether it's stupid or important questions to ask or needs or advice they need, you can definitely email me or text me on my Instagram. It is a private account, but then you can definitely text me and I'll let you in through that way. And I will be able to help you to my fullest capacity, which I surely know that it's gonna get fixed because that's what I do. Your problem is not gonna go unresolved regardless of what it is. We're gonna solve it, and that's what I focus on. There's no, it will not be solved. It will. Okay, it's gonna be solved and you will be okay. And I hope you all ladies have a very good Thanksgiving. I hope you spend it with family and loved ones. I care for you guys a lot, especially to all my ladies, because I know there are gentlemen that are out here, which you also appreciated for what you're doing for your daughters, what you're doing for your kids. It's amazing that you get to sit down and watch these videos. It's breathtaking. To everyone that commented on my voice being ASMR, wow, thank you. It's a very nice thing to hear, actually, you know, that my voice makes people go to sleep. It's a talent. 'Cause how do I do that? You know, can I make myself fall asleep? Anyways, yes, now I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. I wish you all a good night, and my nieces they also wish you guys a good night. I'm actually here with them for Thanksgiving. Brooklyn, do you want to say good night? Come on.
Good night.
Goodbye. Say good night properly.
Good night.
Okay, guys, have a good night. Okay, bye.
Bathroom thing.
Is it a part of the bathroom? Is it a part of your studying? Because I don't even know if you're talking about bathroom breaks or something else. Like, what are you talking about right now? Confused.
We're not talking about bathrooms.
But what are you talking about? So, if you're a boss and you don't even know that you got a bathroom break, like you're just talking about bathroom breaks, you don't know.
Oh my god, girl. Okay. Okay, I have to make this. So can we please? Brooklyn, can we please high five? No. Come on. Kaylin.
It doesn't sound good.
It sounds good? You think so? Oh, thank you, mommy. High five. How does it sound, Kaylin?
It sounds good.
You're lying.
I'm not. Well, my voice was in it, so how am I supposed to make it sound good?
Well, your voice sounds good. It's except you don't have the accent. You're always complaining about the accent.
I think it kills like
Croissant.
Kurso.
me and Kaylin and we hide, and I was sitting on the island that she died.
Don't mess with me again. Don't mess with me again.
I do not speak like that.
Again. Today we're talking about bathroom breaks again. So,
I do not speak
My
like
mom
that.
to pass out then she come back.
so when your boss gives you a bathroom break again,
I can. Girl, you're stressing. I do not speak like that. Girls, I don't. My girls will tell you that
again.
Again.
Keep saying again instead of again. She said again. She said again, like British. She British.
My didn't keep crying.
Croissant. That's how she says croissant. Croissant. Today we're talking about bathroom breaks.
My
So when your boss
said
gives you a bathroom break,
banana.
so you know